Welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoyed our spoiler-free discussion of Zack Snyder's Justice League. We are going to be going into full spoilers, full discussion, full whatever the hell this is going to be for the next possibly 2 hours. I don't fucking know. But I am here, of course, Chris Trio, Aris, Tzortatos, Matt Penza. We're discussing Zack Snyder's Justice League. Full spoilers. Guys, where the fuck do we kick this off?
I don't know. So I guess let's just start from the beginning. Right? Like, I don't think obviously we're not going to go through necessarily scene by scene here. We might. But so I really liked the idea of how this started off with his scream. I thought it was a very interesting and cool idea of everyone kind of waking up and like waking up the mother boxes, and like it was really cool visually and narratively. I got to give it to him.
Just like BVS starts off with Man of Steel stuff, Justice League is starting off with BVS
cool.
stuff.
Yeah.
And
that is cool.
And I really like that through line that Zack Snyder has with his films.
It's a bit of what happened last week.
Yeah.
So, it's like,
previously on.
You have to like kind of start like that because that's what wakes up the mother box.
Absolutely.
Right.
So and you had to give that moment its justice. I did think that the scream kind of went on a little too long.
That is the one I literally wrote down here.
But it is like the scream like heard throughout the world, right?
Right. I think
The universe even, because that's
there
when they realize
there are critiques of like scenes in this movie being long, but I would look at that and be like, I think Snyder wants to hit home like what the length of that is supposed to mean. And Superman, it's like, listen, like this yell, like the mother boxes wake up. The mother boxes were scared of Superman and his power.
Absolutely.
So like now that he's dead, they're like kind of they're waking up, and like mother boxes are these sentient like machines. They are like,
again, completely different from what we really understood what they were in Justice League. Like like when you're watching that movie, they're like, they just terform the earth. Oh, okay, that's it. Like, and then they really don't bother to go much into that.
And dump a bucket of lava.
And this is more truer to their comic book interpretation, which they are these machines that live, and you can talk to them, and they understand things. And we don't get fully into that, but I think they do enough to get that idea across.
Exactly.
Especially with like the Superman, them being scared of Superman. I think that's when I was like, oh, okay, they stuck to that.
It's just so nice to have those logical payoffs too. And like when we'll jump back, but like even when they're talking around the table about the mother box, they're like, oh, the reason they didn't activate was because Superman was here. I was like, you established that earlier in the movie. Yeah. Oh my God, you connected. Like this is like it just makes sense.
Yeah, they say that moment where it's like, when did they like wake up? They're like,
right when Superman.
Right when Superman died. And I will say, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, okay, I'm sorry. All right,
we're driving the
got
same
so
point.
much.
The one thing I'm just thinking of right now, which is like not a critique on the movie at all, but just made me think like, mother box have been there for thousands of years now.
Absolutely.
Superman's been on Earth for
5,000.
Yeah, no, I know.
Now, how long has Superman been on Earth?
Oh,
like 30 years.
30 years.
About. I think he's like.
How long has Superman been alive, or is how long
has he been on
Earth and Snyder?
He's like he's 30s, right?
Yeah,
he's like.
So that's like it's just one thing I'm thinking of now. Is like, why didn't they wake up before? But it's like, but that's not a critique on it. It's just like
no,
that's just like another. That's
well, here's your answer.
A comic book thing.
The Amazonians, Atlanteans, and men hid those boxes and put them in away. Like they're hidden.
But they were still
the
there.
humans were like the man.
Yeah, they put that.
I wish they were like, we're not. No one's keeping this.
They were still away when.
No, you're right. No, that's a fair. That's a fair point. I didn't think about. I would be curious, like, because obviously they had the heroes back in the day that would keep them away, and I was like wondering. I was like, well, why wouldn't they just come right back and invade? It's like, oh, because they're all still there. And then I think also. So do they leave mother boxes on other Earths, or was that the only planet, or not on other Earths, but on other planets?
He says it's the only planet that fought back that they took the mother boxes. So Earth was the key.
Was the only thing that had.
So my thinking behind why Darkseid and the Apocalyptians.
I think you could, Darkseid.
The Darkseid and his dudes
and his forces. Yeah,
they couldn't re-find Earth was because I guess they just knew where Earth was. They went to it. I'm assuming the mother boxes boom tubed them there. For those who don't know what a boom tube is, it's that shiny light that Steppenwolf goes up into.
Which looked way better. Really?
No, it looks good. Like don't get me wrong, it looks good, but like
I'm indifferent.
I need more boom.
I'm
sorry, I do. I need
more
boom
than
boom, and I don't know. I don't necessarily love that it's. Again, like this is a very small critique. Yeah, it's like it's going up. It looked more. I liked it better near the end when it's a portal
and they walk out of it.
Okay, that's fair.
Again, not impeding my likeness of the movie at all. It's just more of like a.
I did like it a little bit better than OG. So like,
I think it did.
Yeah.
I think it did work better too.
So,
Yeah,
but
I
I
think it's
guess
good
like
for different interpretations.
how specific was that?
Yeah, and I guess you could do
Boom,
more at a time.
yeah.
So I can't remember for the Amazon scene. Did he show up with Parademons in the Justice League one?
Yes,
He did.
They come
Yeah.
in like he comes.
They
down,
did the same thing.
They
And don't they
intro
just
him,
kinda
and
go,
then they
yeah.
come out. Yeah.
But but I will say back to like the him holding on shots. I think that scene felt fine for me, but there definitely were scenes where I was like, okay, you should have cut just like half a second earlier. But I will give it to Snyder. He had all the time where I was like, fuck it, I'm using it. I don't care. So
Right.
and this is really kind of the only
Yeah,
place
that goes like he breaks like movie etiquette in a sense in this, right?
Sure.
And filmmaking etiquette in a sense. That's why like it kind of. Like
Again,
I
it
said,
works
it's
here
an
for
art
some-
piece.
yeah.
Like it's you said it's like it's epic. Like it's
Yeah.
That's why like it works, but it's just some stuff's just strange. in
No,
my
it's
opinion.
you can. I agree with you, and
Like
I
early
think.
on, like we're talking about the Aquaman, like the first Aquaman scene, just strange.
But
Man.
it's like, and I think
What'd you think of that? Because I know their opinions. but-
Yeah, like they dragged it out, and then like the chick sniffing his
Yeah.
like sweater and like
Again,
him
when
leaving
you
clothes
explained it,
everywhere.
I like
Yeah.
the idea.
Yo,
he's
I couldn't
polluting
get
the
over
water.
that.
Yeah,
He's polluting the
By the
ocean
way,
with
yeah,
his
that
shirt.
was funny to me though when he drinks the fucking
Vodka.
the thing and just smashes it. I'm like, oh, he doesn't give a shit
I'm
about
Jason
this. Why should
Momoa.
I-
I just got done
it-
from the
it-
gym.
It's funny.
Again, a great scene,
It's
though.
funny when we were
Yeah.
watching it. It's like, dude, that's the second time he's ripped off his shirt.
He
went to
does
the
like
ocean.
another time after that too.
Where's this wardrobe? Like,
No, yeah,
But
it's so true.
He has to
going-
come
going-
with a shirt.
Yeah.
Going back
just
to what
leave
you were
with that
saying.
one.
Oh, what was I saying?
You liked when I explained it?
Oh yeah, no, I liked the way you put it, but I was like, that didn't hit me when I was watching the scene. I think it is a cool idea of like he is there. Like I like this idea that he's going to this like Nordic town that can't get shit, and he's helping them out because he's the literal only person that can get
Right.
there. But it was just kind of just a weird send off for
Yeah,
him.
yeah. So my
But
explanation
again-
of them singing after Aquaman leaves is like, these people are not like a first world people. They, maybe aren't super technologically advanced, aren't on the internet, aren't on Twitter like most of us. So yeah, they live in like a fucking Arctic tundra,
Yeah.
and they have a
all
hard time
200 of
getting things, and they're struggling. They're like a third world country. I don't know where that is
Sure.
or where they are, but whatever. And Aquaman,
It looks like some type of Norse country.
is helping them. Why? Who the fuck knows? But
He
like,
found them.
No,
yeah.
I get why they're singing. It
No,
was
it's
too
just
long.
more. It's just
Right.
Yeah, I get that's
and,
the thing.
Aquaman's mentality and Volko and Mira, they reflect when they have conversations. It's like Aquaman is like, he's just kind of like, do you want to help or not? Like, we see you helping, but like, you don't really.
Well, he doesn't
want to
help on a
people.
big screen. Like he's like, yeah,
He doesn't
Yeah,
want.
and
He
he's
doesn't
not-
want to be in the limelight.
And
of
he's
this
not
figure.
really like he's not like Aquaman yet.
No, yeah,
right?
and he
Right.
seems
Before
and he's
the
pretty
movie.
resentful,
Aquaman.
and he's pretty resentful even of being just an Atlantean in general, to be honest.
Right.
So
Right,
like,
right.
and again, it's funny.
Half.
Yeah, exactly.
And these people worship him like a god, and I understand
But
like
again-
why they're
but
singing
I
to
have a
them, and why the
question
girl
about
picks
that.
it up and
So
smells it.
they say Aquaman, like they're like you never stay in one place more than once.
Yeah.
Right. Like he bounces around.
yeah,
Right.
So, but they set that village up like he comes there every winter.
well, so
On the
I think
king
the idea
tide,
he's
yeah.
not staying. Yeah, so I think like again he's not.
he
well,
does-
I guess like
That's-
Volko's like he's like you don't sleep in the same place twice, but I guess it's more like twice in
I
a
think
row.
it's just
you know what I mean?
right.
You know,
I think
like
yeah.
it's
he's
like
just saying
he's
that
bouncing.
as
He's
like
There's a thing.
quick
he is a very
explanation.
nomadic.
Not-
yeah, he's
not
a nomadic guy.
Like how
yeah.
he still plays the stranger everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Kinda,
Yeah.
like, you know what I
But
mean?
like Bruce Wayne says in that scene, like he comes in on the king
Yeah.
tide, and like that's when he shows up in
One-
the legend of this village.
Absolutely, yeah. One thing I like, I
and
was
you
like,
bought him out.
absolutely,
Yeah.
One thing I absolutely
Bruce
love.
Wayne.
What is this? Was like the first time I was watching the movie, and it's not like it might be a nitpicky thing to some, but like Bruce Wayne shows up on a horse, really cool, awesome
Right out of
imagery.
the comics.
Looks amazing,
Yeah.
looks cool.
That's a Bruce Wayne
Why
thing
is
to
he
do.
not flying out there? He's a millionaire. He doesn't need to take it.
Yeah.
But then he gets
Billionaire.
there, billionaire. Then
Yeah.
he gets there, and he's like, "How the fuck did he make it out here? You can't get out here with a helicopter. The storm's too bad." I'm like, there is an explanation, a fucking
Yeah.
sentence that like I'm like that no
But
longer
also,
breaks it for me.
Bruce
Like
Wayne
a-
could have
a
flew one
grain
of
of
his
salt.
fucking
Right, but
No, it's true.
but
But
also,
again, I guess that was like
No, I
enough of
get
like
it, yeah.
an aside for me to be like, okay, that's fine. He had to
But
camp
this is
up out
another
there.
this is another point. So like him coming in on a horseback and them setting that up, which like some people can have an issue with, whatever. I didn't, but that's another thing that like Snyder
He didn't need to explain that.
he didn't, but he also didn't need to have him coming in on a fucking horseback.
No,
that's
I
just
agree.
another question that people would be like, oh, why didn't he just fly
But
in?
again,
I
it's just questions that Snyder presents himself by putting in.
I
that
felt
don't need
like
to be
there's
there.
a vibe There's a vibe
No, there
to
absolutely
it.
is.
I get it.
I
Snyder
guess that was a good enough explanation for me.
Snyder
Truly.
is
Yes, I
definitely
agree.
a reader of comic books. Like he knows the
absolutely.
source material, and like a lot of that stuff is like a callback to that, or like in The Dark Knight Returns, he rides a horse in that at one point.
There are a few scenes that you can tell, and listen, I'm not judging him, but you could tell was just a little bit like, I just want to see this, like, you know what I mean?
The tank at the end.
Yes, that was the one.
Yeah,
I was like,
a regular
yeah.
night in Gotham patrolling the city on a massive
On his
tank.
fucking tank from
It
Dark
didn't even
Knight
look like he was in
Returns.
Gotham.
Yeah,
That was
tank's
the one where
nice.
I was like, you know what, have it. Because truly, by this point, I was like, you waited 3 years. I don't care. You know, put Batman on a tank staring up at the moon. It's cool. Like, but it was like that wasn't there for any reason besides he wanted to see it. And hey, more power to him. True.
Damn, imagine robbing a bank like that with a fucking tank.
What's up, guys?
Yeah.
No, I picture him.
You want to
just
put that back?
being like a regular night patrol in Gotham,
Yeah.
and like some guy's
the
standing,
streets.
some
Yeah.
guy's mugging somebody, and he fucking just runs them over.
Or just terrified people on the streets, like, "Hey, Batman!" He's like, "Hey guys, you good? Yeah. Okay, good. See you later."
Waves them by.
And then, I mean, not to go in sequential order, but next up
No,
we
I
get
don't care.
that Wonder Woman scene. And fuck, if that scene didn't tell you how much cooler this version is from the original cut in 2017, I don't know what the fuck is gonna.
That really
prove
didn't
to you.
feel that different to me.
I
Besides
think-
her
see-
like smacking
See,
people
and-
into the walls.
No, that's the point.
yeah.
It's not that much different, but the parts that were
It's
cut
subtle.
out add so much to it. Especially, and like I'm not one to point out like the like social issue things we have.
Sure.
But when Wonder Woman goes, "Are you okay?" Very
that felt-
normally, very like not like just like a normal.
No, it
person
felt like an
would say.
earnest,
And-
earnest act.
right?
So I
Like
will
she's
agree.
helping people up, like very like simply. And then the one girl goes on the ground. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I think she replies, or she's just
like,
"Are you
"Yes,"
okay,
yeah.
princess?" And then she replies like, "How do I be like you?" And
It's like, you can't.
She's
I'm
like, "Can I be-"
Amazonian.
yeah.
You can never be
Yeah.
like that.
It's absolutely impossible statistically.
Maybe a
actually.
little bit of
what does she
steroids.
reply
I don't
with?
know.
She's
She
like,
says you can be anything you want to be.
yeah, she,
right, and
what-
I'm like, that was perfect.
no,
I
was
love
like,
that.
Again, it
Yeah,
was
Like, and that is not catered towards
But
me
I
at all.
have two issues with that scene.
sure.
The first
wanna hear it.
is the bad guys. They're kind of set up like, well, we're gonna bring everything back to the
Turn it back
To
to
the
the dark
stage,
age.
yeah.
And it's like,
Oh,
and it's
wait.
like, wait, are these people significant?
Something? No.
It
Yeah, no, they
feels
aren't.
like their mission might be like
Like
a
part
whole
of
other-
Darkseid's thing,
I think
right?
the
Like
idea
you could have thought,
with
but
that-
it wasn't.
Yeah.
She's just being Wonder Woman.
No,
Well, yeah.
no, but like, why even have the bad guy say something that could like
I think.
imply something
No, I agree. I guess that's
deeper? It's just strange. Just a strange take to have them like
I
kind of
guess.
give a backstory to these bad guys that don't matter.
But like, were you really thinking about that like 20 minutes from then?
no, because there's
Okay.
we're
No,
all
because
over.
we're
I think they were
in
supposed to
in
be
more
too
for
deep
4
at
hour
this
movie.
point.
I mean,
Yeah.
half of them like got killed, right?
all-
all of them. Well,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's the other thing. I think
Brain
you and
damage,
I
at
were
least.
talking about this. They had a tiny bomb, a little bit bigger than this,
Yeah.
like in a
So
suit.
You don't need that much
Is
to-
there four blocks.
Yeah, 4 blocks. But meanwhile, she does like one of these, and like
Dude, that's what she did to like defeat Ares or whoever it was in the first Wonder Woman. She destroyed God doing that. And she does this random ass dude.
Just a,
You-
it
you're
would have
telling me
been
that's
really
not more
funny. I'm not
dangerous
gonna
than the
lie.
bomb?
If they got up and they were like, "Wonder Woman, that was absolutely awful. You just blew that man into pieces."
my,
No,
It's
but-
my
surprising
dad
they
was
don't
waiting
start
outside.
screaming.
Like,
and I think we had a conversation at the end of the movie about Wonder Woman killing, because Wonder Woman does kill
Absolutely.
Steppenwolf at the end. She cuts his head off just like Snyder fucking
mean,
wanted.
some of those-
Gods kill gods, baby. Let's go.
That one guy's for sure dead. Some of those other people.
but and
might
I
be
was
dead.
like, and
I'm sorry, they are all dead.
yeah, oh yeah.
There's not a chance.
DC is it like a lot? Some of our heroes have the no kill rule. Batman being one of them, Superman being one of them. But like when it comes to Wonder Woman, I'm like,
No, she's an Amazonian.
Yeah.
Amazonian
Wonder
warrior.
Woman would kill somebody. I wouldn't put it past her. And even in this, I'm like, you need to understand. It's like the no kill rule doesn't apply to necessarily everybody.
No, absolutely. But by the
and
way,
I like that she kills.
I think so too.
Like I don't know. Like she again, yeah, she's an Amazonian. She's not
Yeah.
fucking human.
Oh, she's
she's
a warrior.
warrior.
So
Taking
like
down the
she,
enemy.
yeah.
right.
Oh no, yeah, no, I don't. It's just
And there is some humanity in her, but I like
Absolutely,
that. There's
no.
Did
some
she
different-
kill in '84? I think she did.
I think
but,
she
like,
definitely. I don't think it's as graphic.
but
Not-
she
not like
totally
this,
has
but
killed
like-
Well,
people.
like
Yeah.
those White House guards, she like there's a line in that where she's like, "I'm not
No,
killing
I don't
them.
think she's
They're
killing
being
them, but I
mind
think
controlled."
she totally killed those people out in the desert when they were.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the-
Oh yeah,
they're
yeah,
dead.
Anyway.
But they're dead.
Enough.
Oh,
Wonder
no,
Woman.
but I
No,
did. It was a little bit overkill doing that with the dude.
Nah, it's
fucking
cool.
blowing it like. we have giant pieces of brick and shit falling on the cops below.
Yeah,
I agree with you, but I'm willing to. In this point, I'm willing to let that one.
Like,
yeah.
See, like when I look at that, like I get the critique, but I'm just kind of like, nah, I don't care.
That is,
I don't really care.
But scene after that, you're just invested in it, and it keeps going on.
And it's a good like.
They could have had a line in this movie that said, Anthony Ragucci is the biggest idiot in the world.
Wow.
And blah blah blah, and you still would have been like,
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
That you see that right there? That is genius screenwriting. No, but Wonder Woman, I think she was actually a little underserved as a whole in this movie in the way of just like I think, and not in the way of like I think Gal Gadot is amazing. I think she's
I would
awesome.
say that to kind of our Trinity, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Like,
I agree.
They did have Batman v Superman to shine, not necessarily
Not really
Wonder Woman,
yeah. But also we've had 2 Wonder Woman movies by this point,
right.
so
You've
that's
seen
why
this character.
I'm kind of fine with letting that go, and I think she's more there to kind of inform the heroes.
Yeah.
Yes, we know we don't need
to kill Steppenwolf.
I did again like
seduce Cyborg to join the team. Yeah,
absolutely no, and I think
like
again
I
think
think she's a joke. She's got more.
No,
roles.
yeah. But I think Gal Gadot is amazing in that role, and I think her character is fun to watch. And I really actually liked her like interaction with Aquaman, like when they're digging up Clark, and like they have this kind of back and forth, and I
really love that.
I thought
scene.
that was cool. And I don't know. It's funny. I guess you were saying you didn't really love the way Aquaman was maybe presented in this. I did kind of like the idea of him just being like, "Fuck Atlantis. I don't really care, whatever." And then just seeing her talk about like trying to get past that with the Amazonian, like what
and they
the
both
Atlantean
have the same
War.
Quote, and like
they're like, "Oh, we come from
implying that they
kind of came
from the same cloth."
Yeah,
right.
Took the words out of my mouth. Yeah.
I thought I really enjoyed Aquaman's like I guess his conversation moments in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
his dialogue was good. He was the realist to me almost, even especially when they're talking about that's a whole nother thing with how they bring back, not even how they bring back Superman, but how they talk about bringing back Superman, how that's brought up. I do kind of like how he's sitting there and he's like,
fuck this.
It's like, what the like, guys, I don't think this is a good idea. And even
I like it in perspective. I'm not sure I liked it in the moment, but like after thinking back, it's like the implications of Superman coming back, which
and I even like
is
the way
referring to the nightmare. I guess we'll get to that. I don't want to jump into it.
Well, no,
just
and I
yet.
think it's even more just like you don't know. Like I like the idea. He's like, we don't know Kryptonian physiology. Like we don't know how. Like we saw what it did to Cyborg. We don't know for sure. But like there was this whole implication.
And like even Zod. Like look at the way Zod. I mean, of
being
course,
brought back to life.
Lex
of course,
Luthor,
it wasn't using the same technology.
Right. Lex Luthor purposely like fucked up the Genesis chamber to make Doomsday, but like look what it did to fucking Zod.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny to remember. Like Doomsday is Zod.
Yeah.
Like it's something I think it's sometimes I even forget.
Yeah, I forget. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, those interaction moments, they're just given time to breathe.
Yeah, there was a moment when towards the end when like Flash says something to him and he's like, I thought you don't care. He's like, no, I never said that.
I never said I don't care. Yeah. No, and it is
What, Cyborg?
No,
Flash says to Aquaman,
Yeah, and again, like, just you feel their character so much.
Right?
Yeah, he's
just angry.
It's a little more raw, like It's,
no, absolutely. And
I thought it felt honest. I
think one thing that I really like about Snyder's depiction of all these characters is how flawed they are. Superman, who is normally written as being this like perfect human being and can, he can do anything and he can resist anything, but like in BVS, the guy is more human than fucking Bruce Wayne sometimes. He's sitting there like watching the news and everyone's criticizing him. He's doubting himself. He's doubting humanity's views of him. Of course, like it kind of makes sense that Snyder is writing Superman to be like a tyrant eventually in the Nightmare. It really makes sense that
it is more of like a guy with powers rather than like Superman, like because you are right in the comics he is more of a like perfect individual. I think we're kind of like these are more of like this is more Superman before this was more Superman before he meets the Justice League. There was one thing I will say that I enjoyed about Justice League was his kind of more upbeat attitude when he came back, and there I did have some fun and I smiled a few times when it looked like he was genuinely having fun fucking up Steppenwolf.
I guess that makes sense if the Nightmare wasn't a thing, which it's
but it's not even in this movie yet either. Like he could still like I think I like the idea of him coming back.
By the time they resurrect him, they're seeing the future.
No, I know, but that still hasn't come to.
Right, we're still on that timeline.
No, I know.
It
My
just
point
hasn't
is that
happened.
that hasn't come to pass yet. So
Right.
by this time, I would like to see a happy, hopeful Superman. I don't want to see him doubting himself all the time, and I think that can get just as boring as a perfect Superman. I do kind of want him to be a little bit more invested in himself and a little bit more sure of himself because he is doing the right thing. Fuck everyone else. Like he can. He I think he can know that to a degree. But
we're like what, like a few years into him really being
Exactly.
Superman,
Right,
right?
and like that's what you can't forget. Man of Steel is literally his first time being Superman. Him wrecking that city
that's why that
makes a
works for
ton
me.
of sense.
oh, absolutely.
Because he has no idea what he's fucking doing. And like even Zod says to him, like I was like I'm a warrior and I've been training since birth. Where'd you train, on a farm? Like yeah, that's where he fucking trained.
Hold on.
No shit.
Like I love that line. It's so petty, but it makes so much sense.
No, I love the way Michael Shannon's so good. On a farm? Like the way he said
on a
it.
farm.
Yeah, it's so
and then
good.
he like takes the armor off and he masters being a Kryptonian on
No, it's
Earth
great.
in like 7 seconds. It's like yeah, because he's trained and he
Absolutely.
knows how to, adapt to fighting and stuff. But what was my point? Going back to Superman, yeah, like I think like the black suit isn't explained how I necessarily thought it was. Where like in the comics,
That's the one thing I don't like. They
put-
just kind of just put it on.
he puts
on.
the black
Yeah.
suit on because it's a Kryptonian regeneration suit, and that's what he uses to get his strength back. I think that still's possible here.
No,
they
but I
don't-
would have
they
liked
don't
some
spell it out.
reasoning.
Like I think all they
Yeah,
had
you-
to add it was like Aquaman or like Flash going, "Oh, I dig the new colors," and he goes, "Thanks," and then explains it.
Yeah.
But like
This is for my father, who I'm more. No.
like, and then he goes up
would've been like a 10-minute scene.
into
Yeah.
space, and like his arms are out like he like Christ, and the imagery there. is-
Jesus.
Yeah, the imagery.
Jesus.
The imagery there is pretty obvious.
No,
but,
obviously.
But like, I think the black suit also goes back to how he feels, which
I
is like
agree, but
this
again,
doubt.
it's showing me.
But
enough.
like,
So-
you're telling
does
me
he-
you don't like the black suit. Come on.
No, it looks
Okay,
amazing.
but here's my thing,
It's
you're-
just more of just like
And
it's
this is-
there to just be. It's there to be a callback, and that's fine.
Right, to the
Like I
comics.
don't care.
But,
Like
you're saying like, oh, it's and it also attaches like how he feels, but it's like, how does he feel? Because
Yeah, I don't necessarily
That's a
agree
good
with
back,
question.
he had no fucking idea who he was.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like,
So if he has no recollection of this, then he has no recollection of the South.
no, he
Doubt.
gets his
Well, I
memory
think by
back.
that time
he gets his
does
memory
know,
back.
Like,
But like,
he recovers.
he's
it, but
fresh
yeah.
out of being
Because
dead.
then he remembers
no
like
idea
he wants to
what's
kill
going on.
Batman and shit, and
Right.
he
Well, I
didn't
think
really.
he has the very base memories.
But
He
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah, that's
has,
He
like,
remembers that
It's
Bruce
coming
Wayne
back to
and
him. He remembers
fractions,
Batman.
yeah.
He's like, oh, this guy was fucking me up last thing I remember. And
Right.
we were fucking like.
because they were only friends for all of 2 seconds.
Sure.
You know,
yeah,
at
but,
the end of that
yeah,
BBS.
but if he had his like obviously he doesn't remember everything.
Like
'Cause if
fractions
He,
of
if he
it,
did, he would have remembered that Wonder Woman fought aside with him and Batman.
Exactly. So I
Yeah.
think the idea is it's fuzzy. He remember like some of the last things he remembers is Batman. And he doesn't know who everyone is, and also he's just kind of on like whatever mode, like
And-
fucking
and
go.
let-
It's
mode.
like what's
let's-
happening, like, and then Cyborg that he gets triggered, like his system and
his
stuff.
mother
and, like,
box,
yeah,
or his apocalypse.
I always wondered about that. He can control like any technology. But
Absolutely.
he can't control his own technology to turn.
Well,
on.
Well, I
No,
think it's like
that is
a
I think it's like an
threat.
AI basically
Yeah.
within
Yeah,
his
so-
own system.
yeah,
That
he
is
can't
like-
control that.
No,
Well, I think he's
because
new at it,
because
yeah.
it's
yeah.
right.
he's
but,
new like Superman. I know what you mean. It's kind of like
He could hack into anything. He can
yeah, but
control
he
anything.
uses that because the mother box and the
Yeah, but
apocalypse
he's like
and technology
He was like,
lets him.
it's my
I guess
self-defense. I can't control it.
it's the first time it senses Superman, and that's why maybe it's.
I think
freaking
it's like,
out,
oh,
yeah.
we're not letting you make this decision. We're surviving. We're gonna start
Right,
fighting.
and
Autopilot,
in
yeah.
Young Justice, this theme of like him not understanding what the mother box did to him, like, is a thing where like
Right.
he really struggles with like learning how to use his new powers and body, and the mother box just taking over because it feels threatened.
And I like that because, like,
Yeah.
and it goes back to the Superman thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're kind of like.
They're still new.
Yeah.
And same with the Flash. The Flash is still very new at his powers, and he doesn't
Well, but I will say-
he doesn't talk about it as much
Two
as
of
he
my
does
favorite
Justice
scenes are with
League.
the Flash.
Like in the Justice League, like there's a few lines of him being like, "I just push people and,
No, yeah.
and run away," and it's just like, well,
See, this feels like a Flash to me that's been doing it for like a year or two. Like he has
Yeah,
a suit.
yeah.
He's been doing it, but I mean, he hasn't really faced anything besides your muggers and you're like,
yeah,
you're
I don't
pretty
think
petty
his
crimes.
rogues gallery is not established.
He was
yeah.
a lot less like I would actually like. Let's just talk about the Flash. Fuck it. I
Sure.
think he was his personality. It's still quirky in this a little bit,
Right,
But I
yeah, it's
think
there.
it works much better. There is one scene though where I was like, what the fuck is happening?
I think
And I-
We're on the roof.
no, it was with Iris.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
when
Oh,
he's in the
yeah.
slow mo, when he like, listen. I know there was a few music
The
choices in this.
song they chose was bananas.
It was very weird, and like he's just,
I wasn't-
and like his way that he like kind of he's like, oh, and then he's kind of like walking over.
I kind of like that though.
I was
like that.
representing him running in his own Speed Force, which they don't really do in the Flash TV show. We just see him.
No, I do love how he almost like he triggers it and then everything stops and then he's starting to go. I did really like the representation, but it was just so weird. Iris is in this accident. She's completely calm as she's flying through the air. First off, but like really it really threw me off because she's like. And then he's just there like...
I mean, he touches her hair.
He touches her hair, and then it's like this kind of weird...
Takes all his time,
And I was like, feels weird.
Dog.
Yeah, well, and then I was like, what's going on?
He puts it in his pocket. I was like, that's
saved it though?
I thought you were going to put it in her mouth.
That end, like, I was like, oh, this is weird. But then when it wraps around, I'm like, okay, well, that was actually a cool, like a fun payoff, and like this does seem... But that part felt very weird. But otherwise, I mean, I thought his scenes with his dad were very good. There was... I think he played... the role very well, and I think it comes through that, or his personality that Zack was going for. I assume in the first one shines through a lot better. He is more of a rookie, but he's not like. I did like the scene where
he's not an idiot.
No, he's not an idiot. When they come in, like that whole scene, the push and go away or whatever, that's completely different.
Yeah,
than this
like
one.
okay, he trips. And like
only once. That's or no, I guess twice. But he was fighting Superman the second time.
Even when Superman does the look at him, which still got like we knew
that's what
and we still were hype about it. And like you see him like, what the fuck is going on?
He's like that. He's like, does he?
Once he turns his eyes,
and like I think the way he like ends up falling, and then he runs into Aquaman because he tried
that
to go
one. I thought was
him,
good
like,
too. Yeah,
like I don't think they're like it's kind of him like not really knowing how to fight Superman,
Absolutely.
like somebody who's more powerful than him. Because all intents and purposes, Flash is probably like the most powerful one besides Superman.
He's
not there yet.
Absolutely,
but,
no, and he better. It's fine that he's not as fast as him now because he's new and I think he's getting it. But I hate when someone's like, Superman's faster than the Flash. What's the point of Flash then? Yeah. Why are we even doing this? Like, why does the Flash exist?
Yeah, but he's not. Like, Superman obviously can like pick him up and stuff like that.
No,
but when they're fighting, like the Flash is quicker.
No, he is still but absolutely. But it's just funny. Like when I hear those people of like, it is good.
But Superman's like, fucking fast, dude. They show like when he throws him off and he's like in slow mo, but moving fast in slow mo. You get to see how fast.
It's
Superman
awesome.
Really is.
Yeah, no, and I think that whole scene really played. You can tell that Whedon was. It's so weird to see the dialogue scenes that he reshot for weird reasons, and then even like for no reason, just like it really does feel like it feels like director's arrogance, where he's like, "Nah, I'm putting my own stamp on all this.
I'm just gonna rewrite this whole fucking
and
movie.
Listen,
Darkseid, everything about that has to be taken out, so that's also
that's something else.
I could get to. I don't think Darkseid would have been included if this theatrical cut was, or at least to the extent that we got him.
2.5.
No, I honestly kind of thought he was gonna be in more, but he was in it.
No, I think so too.
To a fair extent, like I understand.
I thought we were gonna get him fighting.
I thought we were gonna get a smidge of fighting, but like it kind of makes sense.
No,
that
it's good.
They don't, and I think we're kind of moving away from Flash.
No, I was gonna go wrap around back to Flash, but no. Okay,
you go ahead. I was gonna move the step.
Yeah, no, we'll get to him. We will, but I really liked his interaction with. No, we won't. Fuck Steppenwolf. He doesn't even matter. I really enjoyed his interactions with his dad. I don't know how differently they played out, but it felt like there was a real like earnestness and like he was really trying.
The conversations are extended, and I feel like I like Henry Allen. I feel like I understand a little bit more like when he's like, Barry, dude, fuck
There's
me.
no point.
Fuck
you gotta
me.
keep going,
Go live your life. Like that was cut out. I'm like, that seems really important. And we don't really get much of an explainer as to the situation, but like the reverse Flash kills Nora Allen. That's the whole point. But
spoiler alert.
They say just as much as they need to. And like I being a comic book character, you're like, I know Henry Allen is innocent.
You're a comic book character?
He himself.
I am a
someone
character.
getting a eraser.
Let me tell you. But yeah, like I get it, and I think like what Henry Allen had to say made me like that relationship even more.
It made it feel real. It made it feel like they had existed for a while.
Right.
Like
and then he comes back with his CSI thing, and he puts it on the wall, and like. And
there's that kind of genuinely
he's
good
like
moment,
like the genuine father excitement, like he's looking around. He's like, my son got
proud
a job
of
at a crime lab.
Yeah.
Like he's hype, and it works. It brings a lot of heart to the Flash. Even though Cyborg was the true, like Zack Snyder said, Cyborg is the heart of the movie.
And,
for sure.
I think that's actually a good segue.
And he gets redeemed I like 710%, and
We
I understand why Ray Fisher was pissed. He had every right to be. His character literally got cut out of the 2017 cut.
Almost entirely.
Like, fuck Josh Whedon, man. Like, I understand why Ray Fisher fought the way he did. Plus, he is the smallest actor in this movie.
No, absolutely.
Like, this was his fucking debut, and he got snubbed of that. He had every right.
Now
to
he's
be
not even
pissed.
going to be in the Flash. He was supposed to be in the Flash, and now he's got axed from that. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I don't know if he left
now-
or like
well,
how it worked, but
he's kind of been going after WB on the executive level because he thinks he got mistreated on set by Josh Whedon. Apparently, Josh Whedon is a shitty person.
Josh Whedon, yeah, I think that's pretty like definitive now. That like,
What else has Josh Whedon done?
He's like
Avengers.
apparently he was. Oh well, that's
Age
the
of
other thing.
Ultron.
I'm not going to sit here and act. Yeah, he did the first. He did the first Avengers. Yeah.
If you can fucking believe.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and act like Joss Whedon hasn't made good movies because he has, and I think The Avengers is a great movie, and
Buffy.
I thoroughly enjoy that movie.
Vampire
But yeah,
Slayer.
from all accounts, allegedly he is not a very good man. So, but like,
Back to Cyborg.
back to Cyborg.
Yeah.
No, it really does suck. What did you guys think about Cyborg?
I honestly, and I said it right away. I was like, wow, we needed this. I was like, because I was a little fuzzy at the moment, and I was like, Gooch, was any of this in there? He's like, no. I was like, dude, like, what the fuck? I was like, we needed all that, like to the point almost where I kind of wanted a Cyborg movie.
Absolutely,
like that's how much it drew me in. And I was like,
I know that's the big thing. Like, it's tough because they
did make it dense, but like
there
for
is that
this
kind of
movie,
one shot where
I wish we got like we obviously got this Superman movie. We got the Wonder Woman movie before the theatrical release.
Yeah,
we got Batman vs Superman before the theatrical release.
Right.
But we never got anything from Flash or Cyborg.
Yeah.
Right.
And I wish we did.
Because that would have been great.
It
It's
does-
kind of like
it
a
does
Marvel
cut
thing.
out a fucking hour of this movie.
Yeah.
If you have
No, and that is-
we don't need to cut anything.
No,
out.
but that's but the thing is, it's just it's not
Perfect.
even that you wouldn't feel the need to have it there if we did have those movies. I
See,
feel
but
like there's a difference.
I don't necessarily mind it, and
Oh,
this is.
I'm not saying I mind it, but that's why I wish that they.
No, it would give
They
you that
had-
extra hook into
It would have helped the theatrical release 1,000%.
yeah, a million
What-
times.
and
better.
what
But
I'm
that
gonna-
goes back to WB just being fucking stupid and weird.
Yeah,
dude.
put in-
like
Go-
just not having like.
Well, they didn't
direction.
commit after the kind of Luke, like, I mean, Justice League didn't, I mean, not Justice League, Batman v Superman didn't lose any money by any means,
no.
but it didn't do the gangbusters
For
that
those
you
who-
should have done, like that a movie with that title should do.
No, that's not necessarily it. Batman v Superman is in the
No,
top
that
10
isn't.
grossing films of all time. Just a heads up.
No, I know, but-
It was
Of
the
course, it's the
critical,
two
but it
biggest
didn't
right,
look-
but it was the
ever.
critical reception that like
Did it hit $1 billion?
right.
That's
That
the
was
thing.
the issue, and by that point, Zack Snyder was filming Justice League. There were a
Yeah.
lot of rumblings that DC was going to move away from his tone.
His dark tone, yeah.
Autumn Schneider passed away.
Yeah.
He steps down from the film. Josh Whedon comes aboard and fucks this whole thing up. But also WB
Royally.
was looking
Well,
to
and it's
get
funny
him out
'cause
anyway.
'cause
it
even
just
like-
worked out in a very shitty way that makes WB look like a bunch of assholes.
Well, so from how he, and we don't know, from how he describes it in his interviews, like he was like, listen, they were trying to get me to change up a bunch. Like we were going back and forth on every little decision. His daughter had unfortunately passed away. He's like, listen, I'm just gonna step away. Like this is just easier. This is better for my life right now, and I really respect him for. Like he's just like, listen, this is what I got to do. I got to step away and be with my family. And
that's
and
why
they
he-
did. And I don't think they were necessarily like we want to get rid of him, but I think they weren't sad to get rid of him at that point at all. I think they were.
Right.
I think they were like, okay, now we can take it in this new direction. We can go more lighthearted. Again, studio executives learned the wrong lessons from movies. They see the bright and colorful Marvel movie, and they're like, oh well, that must be the only thing that works. You have to have bright poppy heroes, and like, and that's just
Can
not
I
how it
jump
works.
off of that before you go away from that point?
Absolutely.
Our conversations, based on some of the feedback from some of the comments I have made towards comparing Marvel and DC, you're right. I do sometimes just jump to the conclusion. I like DC better, so I compare them and like kind of shit on Marvel. And I realize I probably need to just like reword what I'm saying to make my point, not necessarily just try to
more
bash
of like,
Marvel.
yeah.
But going back to the way DC's decided to do things with not necessarily setting up Cyborg and Flash with their solo movies, but like including them here, I still think it works. I think
it works.
I
too.
think there is appreciation and uniqueness in the way that they decided to do it, that they didn't just do the Avenger route and do, okay, we're going to do our solo movies too and then do our team up. They decided, okay, we're going to set up Superman and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman.
We'll lay in some
and
little
then-
But that's
tidbits for
also so like it works because it's 4 hours long, and they put.
That's
the
what I was
dedicated
gonna say.
time
I
in.
don't think.
Right, no, I'm not even saying that, but like I just appreciate that they decided to take a different path. Like their tone is from Marvel. It's a totally different path. It's not the same as
think-
Marvel. But when Batman v Superman wasn't received well, they were like, fuck it, let's
Mixed reviews,
just do
definitely.
Marvel path. And that is where I get upset. And like I understand Shazam is that tone, and that's fine. But
Well,
Shazam
and
is more of a Marvel movie.
Shazam
They
has
can-
to be. Shazam's a fucking.
Yeah, no, and I think that's
kid,
again,
Right,
it's
you know?
taking
Right.
your.
And then
yeah.
you look at 84. 84 didn't do well at all, but apparently financially,
Well, actually, financially did really well.
right, it wasn't
Supposedly.
received well
Critically,
critically.
yeah.
I think it's
what-
more about
And
just like the people
Aquaman
with the head.
falls into the same path. I think
I enjoy
everyone
Aquaman.
everyone
I was
likes.
gonna say, I think everyone at
I
least
think
likes
everyone,
Aquaman.
Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
everyone
I
thinks
like.
Aquaman is like a 7 or 8, and I think
I would
it
agree.
deserves that, but it is more Marvel-y.
Well, it's
You know?
fantastical. Yeah, it's much
But
more.
you
And I
have
think
to be,
again
like,
that
those
with that,
characters you
I
have
think
to
especially
be.
with an Aquaman, I think there is something to taking a bit of his camp and using it.
His corny.
And,
bits
and,
has
yeah,
always been
and like
corny.
using it
Real quick,
you know?
I want to come back to Cyborg, so let's put
Sure,
a peg in that.
yeah.
But we're talking about Aquaman. I think the way the Aquaman scenes in this are really kind of cool, with the fact that like the Atlanteans are talking a different language, and in Aquaman we are just hearing it in English.
I didn't
But,
really.
but it makes sense we're hearing.
I can buy that. I can
Sure.
really buy that.
No, it makes
and the
sense.
way Mira is portrayed is different. Like Amber Heard is using a British
Very
accent,
regal.
and her backstory is a little different.
She looks much better in this, by the way. Her hair.
No,
let's
it's
just-
let's. I
specific-
agree. I don't like that.
In
red.
Aquaman, it's so red.
I like her
I
outfit
wonder
in
if
that
it's
a lot.
edited. Do you think?
No, I think it's. I think they
it
just. I
has
think
to be a
it's.
wig
I
or
think they.
maybe
Well,
dyed it or
no, it's
something.
definitely a wig, and I think he upped the saturation in that movie.
Yeah,
he
dude.
definitely
Oh,
did.
yeah,
because
yeah,
I think,
Which I can get. You know,
Yes,
it's
in an
Atlantis,
Aquaman movie,
like,
yeah.
I love the
undersea.
visual. I love the visuals in the underwater stuff in
Yeah.
Aquaman.
No, absolutely,
Specifically.
dude.
I
That
think it's
tried.
really, like-
we'll get it.
And,
We're getting there.
and in a way,
And he's not as glittery like OG
Yeah.
Aquaman. You know what I mean?
No,
And we
absolutely.
talked about
He's
that.
still got
Yeah,
that grit.
There's some
Yeah.
dirt. Yeah, there's like a dirt on the face.
What
of this
Jason
movie,
Momoa
you know?
did to Aquaman was needed for years, and I'm glad it happened, because I feel like Aquaman has got a lot more attention because of it. Because Aquaman being, I mean, I guess Jason Momoa is white too, but he's
No, he's like
Blonde-haired
he's
white
no,
guy.
he's
he's not
not.
Samoan. He's
off-white.
an Islander.
No, he's
an
yeah.
island. No,
No,
but
he's
an
yeah. You're
Islander.
right.
And there's
I
some
can't remember. He's like
representation there, but it also works with Aquaman.
No, it
like
does. Like you're like,
200%.
okay, this guy
Yeah.
would be a Pacific. Yeah, he's like a Pacific
Pacific
Islander.
Islander.
He'd be a tanner dude. But like, and I also think it does work because. Yeah, like people thought of Aquaman as laughingstock, and I really think that comes from like Super Friends when you see him riding the seahorse and he's
Yeah.
like, "Where am I going?" And then Family
And the
Guy and stuff like that.
memes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so I think, do I think they could have gotten the more classic-looking Aquaman and still kind of made a splash? Maybe.
Probably,
but like
but nah,
I
this
think
is
having
better.
like big burly ass fucking
Jason Momoa, take his
6'7",
shirt off like 3 times.
unnecessary, but like
clothes,
I think Jason Momoa's a really good cast.
I think he works so well in that role. He
yeah,
really does.
And yeah, like Jason Momoa is on record that Zack Snyder pretty much saved his career.
Dude,
with
he
this
saved
role.
Gal Gadot's career too.
Dude,
she
and
was
like-
saying the same thing. She
and-
was like, I was gonna go
we-
under before.
I think the cast for all of them, except for Lex Luthor, I'm still sticking to. That was great.
Snyder, again, visionary. The guy cast these people himself. Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Ezra Miller, Ray Fisher, Eisenberg. They were all casted by him. You need to appreciate the fact that he went out of his way.
No, it's good. He
to,
found
like,
his people.
Cast the like. Say what you will about Lex Luthor. We're not going to talk about him in this, but like I think all our heroes are cast perfectly.
No, they
Yeah.
fit
like
the mold.
especially Gal, especially Jason Momoa.
I like Ben Affleck's Batman a lot, but I have an issue with his Batman in that universe.
Right.
But it's
I
not,
get what
it's
you- like,
nothing
you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
his
No,
portrayal,
nothing,
like, you think
nothing
it
Ben
against-
Affleck,
yeah.
but like, yeah, I know.
And, and,
what you're
and it goes back to Batman vs Superman. Like how, and we were talking about this the other night. Like there's the moment in Batman vs Superman when Clark Kent is like, I'm gonna go to Gotham because I'm hearing reports about this someone dressed up as a bat, like
Yeah.
vigilante, and like you're gonna tell me no one in Metropolis. Batman's been doing this
Yeah,
thing for
yeah.
20 years and no one
Knows who he
No,
is.
well, but
But
like
then,
in
like,
that,
they
it
go to-
seemed like they
See,
knew who the Perry
I-
knew who the Batman was.
No, he was like stop with this nonsense. Blah, blah,
Well, no,
blah.
yeah, but like but he knows who Batman. Like Batman is a known quantity in that universe
right
from
I-
everyone
what,
besides.
what I think
Well,
I
no,
explained
he's
that
like
is
no one cares about Clark Kent
not
taking on the
knowing
Batman.
who a millionaire is. He doesn't live in Gotham. Bruce
Billionaire,
Wayne.
come on.
I'm sorry.
man.
No, you
no,
can't.
but-
I'm sorry. You
I'll
can't
break
explain
your
away Clark Kent not knowing Bruce Wayne. That's not what I'm getting away. It's
No.
that I think.
the-
No, I'm sorry. You can't. Like I'm sorry. That's a tough one to
See,
like.
I don't know, dude. Besides Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and maybe a few others. Do you know all the billionaires?
Yeah.
I would know. Bruce Wayne would be with Elon Musk.
No. Maybe not
Bruce
what
Wayne's
he
a
looks
playboy,
like.
dude.
What he
Yes.
looks like.
Yes,
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is the Elon. You know what Elon Musk looks like. You know what Bill Gates looks like. You know what
Steve Jobs looked like.
Lex Luthor,
Steve
aka Jeff
Ballmer, you know
Bezos.
Steve
You know what I
Ballmer
mean? Like, we're not gonna hide anything.
You know what
got
they
a
look
point,
like.
but like I don't know.
Again,
He
these
does
are-
live on a fucking farm half his life.
But okay, fair.
Maybe there's some like legitimate
Listen,
excuses to it. Because like
I don't think-
and
But
he's
he
in
probably
Kansas.
uses a product
We
that's
live in
made by Wayne
Philadelphia.
Enterprises. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Well,
he
I
can
can
just
just-
focus and listen in on. Oh,
I
there's-
can
I
accept
don't know.
that there's not a good reason for that, and it's fine. I don't care. That's not bugging me that much. It's just there are certain things that they do take you out of for a sec. Where I'm like, I would like to have just a little bit more thought put in here, and especially getting back to Batman vs Superman. But I really don't think Justice League had those types of issues for me, where I was like really going in and being like, but wait, how do we get from here to here? And even with Batman vs Superman, I think that the extended cut, that's a whole other thing, really does make. I think it makes a difference for me. But
plot is slow, but it's clear as crystal. Like there's not once where I was like, where the fuck are we?
can I tell you about this? Might be a hot take. The most underserved character from Justice League. Fucking Alfred Pennyworth. He was so good in this. Like I don't know what like,
I love Jeremy Irons.
He's awesome. Well, and I
as
thought he was good
Alfred.
for like the little bit we saw him in the original cut. But like, there's these really good character moments where like I
the
love
tea
when
moment.
that
yeah.
one was. I was genuinely had a smile on my face when he's like, "No, don't All right, wait. Do you want me to make the tea? No. Oh, well, mash it.
Do you
okay,
want
dude.
some?
Like, no, I don't want it. And then
No,
even
I
just
don't.
like his interactions with Bruce and stuff. They felt like a living, breathing team that had been working together for a while,
Dude.
and like that, like really, like I just felt like you got to see this Alfred, which was really cool.
I
Don't
think
wave the red cape at the bull.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that-
and, like,
that was,
he has
like,
a lot of
good.
lines, even in
do
BVS,
when
when
you
he's
have
like,
this
when he's like something. Bruce says something about criminals, and he's like, everything's changed. God throws thunderbolts, and like he goes into it, and that's the the fear, the rage, the feeling of powerless turns good men cruel. Like that fucking line, like that's Jeremy Irons, like
No,
just
he's
kills
great.
it.
He's
Like,
amazing in that role, and it kind of does
he's
make it
definitely-
sad that we're not gonna. We might not see him again.
He's
Yeah.
definitely my favorite Alfred. Like, okay, Michael Caine
I
is
don't know.
one
Michael
thing.
Caine's tough to bite.
Caine's
Yeah.
Michael Caine.
Michael
No,
Caine.
but and probably like my last critique of Batman, I guess like from the Justice League is like his kind of, I mean, he reveals his identity instantly to like all of them, which like
yeah.
Batman doesn't
do that, yeah.
especially in the Justice League until that one moment where like he has to and he's like he rips
Right.
off
In
everybody's
the animated
names and he
series,
says like
yeah.
oh, I'm Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
because he like literally has
Yeah.
to, but like
Yeah.
that's something that he wouldn't do. But I get why they did it.
I
but,
think
like-
it's a fair critique. I think Snyder just sets
I guess
it up.
I don't. Yeah, I
I
don't
think
know.
Snyder just sets it up as he needs to gain people's trust.
I mean, yeah, how are you
Or-
gonna convince this psycho in a bat fucking costume is telling me that I have to help him fight,
yeah.
save the world? It's like no, but if Bruce Wayne comes down and is like, listen, I'm the fucking Batman. I need you to help save the world. It's more.
He needs to convince people that, like, mind you, this isn't like just some normal threat. I know, comic book villain threats aren't normal, but this is dark side we're talking
Yeah,
about.
there's global.
There's no time to like
he doesn't know
keep
his dark. They don't know his dark side.
Yes,
Not-
they do.
They have
Yes,
an
they-
idea. Well, Wonder Woman.
They don't know
does.
him by
They know
name, but they
Steppenwolf.
know the threat is big.
Yeah.
Like the bell,
Yeah, they're coming to
I
destroy
like
the
how,
world.
like in the beginning of the reason he knows is because Lex Luthor tells him the bell has been rung, and and he's coming and he's hungry.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
and,
Too jokery.
Joker, Lex Luthor. Yeah, exactly.
and he takes that to face value, and it's not Lex Luthor fucking with him. He's being serious because he's also communing with Steppenwolf in the Ultimate Cut, where I guess he tells him or he finds like I kind of thought at first that was just the Kryptonian ship teaching him about the mother boxes and Steppenwolf. No, that's him talking to
Wait,
Steppenwolf.
in this Ultimate Cut's not out yet.
What?
Batman vs Superman.
No, it's been out.
So I watched it. He doesn't talk to Steppenwolf in it.
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
Yes,
in
he
the
doesn't
ship, yeah.
talk to him. So the guards, after all is said and done, I
Yeah.
guess the military they go into the Kryptonian ship, and Lex Luthor's like standing in the pool of like blood,
yeah.
and like Steppenwolf like roars, and it all goes away, and he turns
Oh,
around.
I
and-
didn't notice that.
yeah, that is
So
like
see,
right at
because
the
right
end
at
of
the
the
beginning
movie.
of
There's no
the
dialogue.
Yeah, right in the beginning of the Snyder Cut, like you see him and like they're having the conversation, but you can't hear what they're
that's
saying.
right.
right. That's
Yeah.
the scene. Yeah, and I guess that is
But
happening
also, like-
right as Superman is killed. He's doing that.
So he
he's
says-
still in the Kryptonian
Okay,
ship.
so he says the bell's been rung, but like but Lex has nothing to do with like obviously what occurs with Steppenwolf and all that stuff. I guess you were just telling him what
in
happened.
terms of communicating with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like you're right. Like he's not controlling. Like he has no say in with
You
the
see, like, so
parademons.
when I saw that scene, the Snyder cut, I was like, oh wait, maybe Lex might have a little more to do in this. But no, he was just like telling him like
I guess he's the one that tips
Igniter,
Steppenwolf off that Earth is.
I mean, I'm guessing
Kryptonian is dead.
I'm guessing Steppenwolf came like the instant that they woke up, the instant he died. Steppenwolf probably just showed up.
No.
Because why would he?
I think there's some time.
Yeah, but how would he?
There's some time.
But how would he know?
It's enough that Lois Lane is still going to his monument and like.
No, but it happens like
Yeah.
when he's in the chamber. I'm talking about when he sees Lex.
Wait, what do you mean? Yeah, of course, because Superman just died.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. So like he comes as soon as Superman dies, as soon as the mother boxes
No,
wake up.
I don't think he comes at that exact moment.
Nah, but it's
but like right
close.
after, like he doesn't come beforehand because how would he know? Right?
No, he
Yeah.
doesn't. I
Yeah.
mean, there's also Kryptonian on the planet, and our no protectors here, no lanterns, no Kryptonians. This world will fall.
I thought
Hail
we were gonna
dark
get. I
side.
thought we were gonna get a lantern. I mean, we did, but I thought maybe we might get something sneaky. Like
in the Nightmare, I guess that's a whole nother thing. But like,
yeah, we see two. We see it in the Nightmare and in the Age of Heroes.
oh yeah, you're right. In the but that
Yeah.
was also in the OG, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that Green Lantern
Yeah,
is
Steppenwolf cuts off
a
the
deep
thing.
cut of an ancient Green Lantern. But yeah, in the nightmares, it's the nightmare scene when they're resurrecting Clark, right?
Right. Yeah.
So we see Kilowog.
Because he goes, wait, like don't, and then like it brings up to
what?
Do you guys so right at that scene, right when like they pan through and you see the lantern dead on the floor, and then you see
Superman holding
it's
the
the Hall of
cowl
Justice.
of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Do you notice that there was a ripped up Joker card?
Yeah, that's in the. Did you?
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
They released those promos like way ahead of time.
No, but
those
I
images
saw
were
a
released.
half torn Joker card
Yeah.
like flies through the air.
And then
Yeah.
it goes back to when.
And then at the end, when they're
Batman-
talking about, it's like, if you want to break, like, just say it, just rip it. This is my truce. Like,
Yeah.
rip it up whenever you don't want to.
Yeah.
Hence the Lois.
Wait,
you know.
you gotta comment on this. This is your territory.
I was saying,
We
I
were-
thought maybe we were going to get a
Kilowog.
lantern.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was really good. It was a little. I was like, oh shit, Kilowog's here.
Yeah,
And who was the other one in the nightmare scene?
it's
Oh, in
Jan-
I wrote it down. Yalan Gur.
Yeah, he is an ancient.
Very
Green
kind of like
Lantern.
really old Green Lantern. Apparently one of the like greatest or something from what I was reading. But I don't really know much about him.
Do we want to talk about that Age of Heroes scene? I want it, or do you want to go back to Cyborg? Because we put a peg in it, and then we kind of got off track
Oh,
talking
I
about
think
Batman.
I say let's go down. Let's finish off the Justice League. So Cyborg. Is there anything else we'd like to say? Anything?
No, I mean, I really like that they like gave him his due.
He got a
because
full backstory.
we got
Yeah.
the football scene,
And
which
he's-
was like really
Yeah,
cool in the
so
trailer.
cool.
Yeah, playing
Gotham Central University.
Yeah,
whatever.
against
versus
Yeah,
Wisconsin. No, you were
Wisconsin.
you were
He had
when
money
we were
on the
watching
game.
it. You were saying, yeah, dude, Gotham, GCU
dude.
versus Wisconsin. Everyone knows that game.
it's on
Like in the middle of like the movie, because he's like, is that Wisconsin?
ESPN
They're
Classics.
playing.
That's so
they're
funny.
playing the
So it's-
Wisconsin.
So like as soon as I saw that, I was like, this is strange that they have Wisconsin. And I was like, Zack Snyder might have went to Wisconsin. I looked up.
Yeah,
he's
he
from
looked
Green
it up.
Bay.
Yeah.
That
He's from
makes-
Green
that
Bay,
makes total
Wisconsin.
sense
He
then,
didn't
yeah.
go to school there. He went to like an art school, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's why
That's
Wisconsin's
funny.
in it.
That's
That's like
awesome.
their like real uniforms. And
Oh
everything.
yeah, that's awesome.
yeah,
Well,
because
they-
he was saying
Yeah,
that
once
like,
I
during
saw
scene,
the helmet, I was like,
wouldn't.
Oh, like
I wouldn't
wow,
call it
that's
I
that
thought
at
maybe it
all.
would have been like Metropolis U.
Yeah,
Like,
no, that makes total.
Which
Yeah,
in
that's-
BBS, Gotham is playing
I think it's
Metropolis.
high school. Is that a high school one or is that college?
No, I
That's
think it's
college.
I think it's college.
University,
Yeah,
right?
and I
GCU.
did like they give you that little fill-in scene where he's like talking about how he hacked like the grades to help the one girl. Like you get the sense he's a good guy. He's just trying to get along. I did feel like I don't know. He got a little. And I get it. He did have
the world.
99% of
Fuck
it.
the
yes,
world.
Like
Yeah.
he got a little.
he's emo.
Yeah, like a little.
I
like
think
there
he
was-
deserves it.
No, and I think it's. I think
he's
listen,
like not even a torso. He's like half a torso and a head.
But also like, he was dead, and then his dad brought him back to life, and he's like, "Fuck the world."
There's kind of a trope that I hate.
And I'm kind of like, "Why are you so?"
But also,
angry?
look at him. He doesn't have a dick.
You're
like
back.
like you
Okay.
said.
You could make an electric
yeah,
dick,
no,
and that
he-
vibrates. God damn it! Are you kidding me? The ladies would love that
he
shit.
is, he is this monster.
No, he's a bit of. And listen, no, I just think it's over. It's played a little heavily at some points with how and I get it. Like I get the idea of him like having the absentee father, and I think overall the story works more than it doesn't for me. Absolutely, I just think there were some points where I was like, all right, we can rein it in. Still, like we can take it back just a little bit, but I truly think overall his whole arc was treated very well. I liked his interactions with his father,
and he's
especially.
so important to
he is.
the mother boxes and like that entire story. Like,
because he understands.
He grounds the
without
mother
him.
boxes, which aren't necessarily things that need to be ground, but they are big, important DC things.
I really like how he gave the whole explanation. He's like, they're change machines, and like how he goes
I
with the
love that
idea.
term,
Like, and he's like,
change machines.
and like they're like,
Yeah,
well,
they're-
it's not necessarily
World
bad or
ending
good. It's
change
whoever
machines.
is
So cool.
whoever is controlling them is what makes them do bad or good. And I'm like, that's like again,
Like that.
you're
That's
giving
we needed
yes,
that,
like
yeah.
that's good to know. And like,
Unity is not necessarily. I don't think that's a comic book thing.
well, even mother boxes
the
really
three
in
of
the
them coming
comics, all
together?
they do are they're used for boom tubes. That's
Right.
really mostly what it's used for.
what the three of them coming together?
Yeah, that's definitely not a comic book thing.
I don't think it is either.
Yeah. So that was what I like. I was like, okay, they're just coming together to like create the big boom.
And
tube.
it gives it gives Steppenwolf that, you know, if it was just one of them, then, you know.
No,
then
absolutely.
It's
No,
so
yeah.
much quicker. Like, it's for three of them, so he's
like,
got to go get
this is
one, he's
it,
got to
yeah.
go get the other, and then we got, you know what I'm saying?
Let's get into Steppenwolf, dude.
Do we want to finish off the league or get right into Steppenwolf?
We'll move around. I
All
feel
right,
like
fine. Sounds good.
Let's
Steppenwolf, here we come.
Wait,
He
one
looked
more-
great, by the way.
Yeah.
Just
Dude,
the visuals alone
That suit,
was made. It.
holy
I think that's
shit,
where they
it's moving and
That's where they put the
fucking.
money.
That's where they put all the money.
arrows
Yeah,
yeah.
snapping. Like,
Yeah,
dude, I'm like,
absorbing
this
it.
is sick.
He looked perfect, and and it's funny because there are some scenes in this where the CGI gets a little wonky. Absolutely, like especially that
Really?
scene.
I wouldn't agree.
There was, I think,
I
the
like
I-
it.
4K
thought it wasn't
ult-
bad.
The 4K.
there was the
Ultra
one
HD.
part where
dude.
he's in. I was watching 4K on my TV, on my new TV. It's the scene where he's like inside his own head and he's like in the wasteland.
Who, Cyborg?
Yeah,
Dude, that looks like a fucking, like, video game, like,
I didn't
a
think it looks.
PlayStation
I don't
3
know why. It
background.
really.
Oh, wait,
oh
we're
yeah,
talking-
absolutely. Yes. Okay. Good. Yeah.
Looks like
because
a
I was
PS2
yeah, it really
background,
looked
dude.
awful. Like
No,
the second time
no,
around
I
when I
was
watched
into
it.
it.
Pull it up right now.
Like you will
Fuck
be like
this
oh.
podcast.
but
Let's
again-
go watch it again.
But I thought
Like the
maybe it was
table.
like, oh, maybe, like,
the idea it's on purpose
maybe
or
'cause,
something.
like, he's in his own head, and his own head is, like,
Is like
a
retro or
foggy,
something.
yeah.
And even with the Amazons,
bro, that scene,
the
I was
scene
like,
when they're coming down the hall, like that, it gets a
Yeah.
little rough. But that whole scene, and actually before we get into Steppenwolf, I guess we can talk about that in general. That whole scene just makes sense finally.
yeah.
Like in the original, they're like, well, where are they going? They're on an island. Like what do they think? Just they're gonna trap him in
What?
for Justice League with the Amazonian fight. All they do is just trap him in that big bunker. What are you doing? What's your plan? Like you're gonna get off this island that no one's got off in a million years. Like what are you gonna do? Whereas in this, they're like, oh, like this whole scene where they're like, drop it. Like it doesn't matter. We gotta do what we gotta do. And then they drop the fucking thing off the cliff. I'm like, oh,
That makes
temple.
sense.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. Like I'm like,
They're not
that's-
just closing it. They're fucking like destroying the.
they're
supports of it.
sacrificing all of themselves. And like I like that scene where she's talking to the Amazon. She's like, go do it. Seal the doors.
Snyder
like, we gotta
with the Amazonians, and
No,
same
like
with
the-
like the old gods Zeus, Artemis, and Ares look fucking phenomenal. But
That
they
they
is
have a
ha-
new Ares, no?
No, that's the
Nah,
same actor.
It's the.
I thought
That's
it
the
was a
same
different-
actor.
I mean,
from...
like it's a young. He's fucking 5,000 years
no,
younger.
I know,
like-
but it's the same. It's the one who plays him at the end of Wonder Woman.
Oh, really?
It is. It's you can see his face at the beginning. I didn't think it was.
I thought it was interesting they went with a young Zeus. A little confusing.
Well, I think that's
No,
what
I think-
Zeus looks like. I think with the Zeus, I guess the idea would be
All-
the Zeus age, like in that.
Yeah, I
universe.
think
Look at
at
all
some point.
the
interpretations
depictions of him, he has like.
See, but
He's got
like
the gray
I
beard.
think back then it makes sense. Usually when we're seeing Zeus, it's like, maybe
Still
not,
back
maybe
then.
not.
It's still
I,
back
I'm
for some
good with the
reason,
interpretation.
I get what you're saying, but I didn't even really, I guess, think about it.
I like
when,
it.
when I was
He's
in it.
No, that's why I asked you.
He's
I was,
I like
I
it.
was like, who is this? And you're
It's like Zeus.
Remember I sent a photo. I was like, who is this? You're like, that's Zeus. I was like, oh. I was like surprised.
It's
that was
Zeus, you dummy.
No, so they were based. So I guess like the new gods were just the first metahumans.
Yeah.
Really, the old gods, I guess. Like they were like
What, the old gods?
Yeah, like Zeus and all that. They were the metahumans basically of the day.
Right.
Is the idea.
And also, so like the Atalanteans.
Atlanteans.
Yeah.
I like Atalanteans better.
Atalanteans, yeah.
Atalanteans.
Those two.
The Atlanteans. Poseidon's a god, no?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that wasn't Poseidon, the guy.
Oh, that wasn't?
No,
Oh,
that
so
was just
the
the king of
king of,
Atlantis.
like,
That was
the-
like, that's
okay.
like Arthur's like
I
great great grandfather
thought-
or great 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 grandfather.
I
or
thought
something
it
like
was-
that.
That's
I thought it was
the
Poseidon.
one who fights with the Age of Heroes.
Yeah.
I thought
him.
that was.
That's
I'm
not
pretty sure
Batman.
that's it. So the trident looks different, but that trident Mara's carrying at the end, and the one that he's carrying is the trident of kings, the one that Aquaman gets
In
in
Aquaman,
Aquaman.
yeah.
But they aesthetically changed it up. So, but that is supposed to be that.
Okay,
Yeah,
I thought that was
trident.
Poseidon because I was like, oh well, like obviously like the gods would know the Atlanteans.
Yeah, that would have
because
been an interesting.
one of their
one that
like
people
Zeus
are-
is
yeah.
like brother, whoever Poseidon is to Zeus.
Yeah, I think Poseidon's his dad.
I love
Right?
the Age of Heroes scene.
Yeah.
And finally we see
See
we
Darkseid.
see is it I call him Euaxis? Is
Well,
it
that's what
Euxis?
he put it. I don't know how to say that. I've
So
seen him say it like
Darkseid's real name is I'll just
it's
call it
UXAS.
I've
or
always said
something.
is Euaxis.
Yeah.
Euxis, whatever. That is Darkseid's name. So Darkseid is coming to this planet before he's Darkseid.
Before he's like the total conqueror.
He's,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
younger. He's not as experienced.
He doesn't seem to have
the
control over
armor.
mega beams yet. Beams
Right,
yet or
there's
anything
no
like that.
Omega
Yeah.
beams.
Still
yeah.
using it like a weapon.
So like it makes sense that he gets defeated. I'm not.
Well,
like,
but it also seems like he hasn't ran into like that type of force. Like the
right.
idea, I like the idea that like even Steppenwolf keeps saying, he's like, this world is divided. No one, like everyone's fighting each other. This is the time to come. Like because when you go to a world like they did back in the day when everyone's fighting together, it's no good. Like they seek
Right.
worlds that are in disarray.
It no good.
It no good.
No good.
But I thought Steppenwolf, like I said, all the money went towards his. Not all of it. A great deal of the money went
I thought
towards his
Cyborg
CGI.
looked really good,
He
too.
looked awesome. I thought Cyborg had a few scenes where I was like, it still looks great. But I think for 99% of the time they were both.
I really
he
think
looks
all the
10 times
CGI looked fantastic. I said a few times in the beginning, I'm like, this movie looks fucking amazing in 4K Ultra HD, which is not what you watch movies in. So I was really appreciative.
I was happy that I got my 4K TV before I got this.
Yeah.
So like,
Dude,
it
looked beautiful.
One
on
thing
TV.
that didn't bug me as much as I thought it would, either the 4x6 or the 4x3. Yeah.
Yeah.
I settled in. I do
It's
kind
so
of
funny. Dude.
It's still annoying to
I
me
didn't care
because
at all.
you're shrinking the viewing thing for people. That's the only thing that really. I know you're not technically. I know you are seeing more of the.
You're getting like the entire like everything the camera's catching. You're catching.
Yeah, but it feels smaller because
Yeah.
you have these two bars,
Yeah.
and it just makes me wonder. I'm like, are we just gonna keep going up and out? Like, cause like if we get more
What
out-
happens after 16 by 9?
Yeah, like
or-
so. Okay, we're here. Okay, now we have these two black bars. All right, now we'll fill in these. Oh, but we want to get more on
Yeah,
top. Okay, so
they
now
gotta
it's just now we got the
change-
same thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so like
They
I don't
gotta
know.
change how the TV.
That's what I mean. So I don't think they'll ever do that. Truthfully, I don't think they'll ever go to like a square aspect ratio for regular.
Going back to Zack Snyder's vision, I'm glad he did it, and they were good with him doing
I
it.
agree, and it really didn't bug me
You know,
as much as I thought.
you know they're
Doesn't
releasing
bug me
a
at all.
black and white version of this.
Yeah, Justice is Gray or something is like his. That's
What?
Yeah, it's Justice is Gray. Like that's the title of like you know how they did Wolverine. Like they had the title for it. It was like Wolverine Noir or something like
Yeah.
that. Like that the title of like that the
What the
subtitle.
fuck are you talking
You've
about?
never seen. They put it on the what's it called today? They said it's like
What? What?
Zack Snyder's Justice League Justice is Gray edition. That's the gray. That's the name.
It's like the same
Why are we
thing,
talking
just-
about Wolverine?
No,
Because
they
they also did
it in
Noir.
Noir.
That's
Oh,
you're one
Logan.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like you know,
yeah,
like so
yeah,
they
yeah,
just
yeah,
it's just the name
Okay.
of that cut.
Yeah, I
Or
think
the-
I'm
or
like
the-
that's pretty cool. And
It's
like,
cool,
he's-
but
and
I've
he's
never
doing
been
the
like
four-
a-
and he's doing the
Black
4-3
and
with
white, yeah.
BBS too, which I can't wait to rewatch.
I just thought it was
and
so
that.
funny. It was like they include like IMAX. Like when you watch it, it's like, yeah, who the fuck has an IMAX
IMAX screen,
screen
yeah.
or anything at their
Nobody.
house? Like,
No, I mean that's not the intention, right?
No, absolutely. And
Yeah.
I think it's good that you know what that's what you want to do. You want to. It's cool we did get more in the picture. I do hate seeing two black bars on my big TV though. That's the only thing.
I totally didn't give a shit. Did you care?
Not really.
I'm indifferent. I forgot.
But
no,
about
like
it.
don't get me
like
wrong.
right
I
when it
wasn't-
started.
I was just too into
No.
the movie. To
right
give
when
a
it started
fuck.
because your cousin was talking about it and he was like, "Yeah, it's a different ratio. I think there might be two black bars on it." Then as soon as it started, I was like, "Oh, there are the black bars."
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
like,
I
it
knew
didn't-
there was.
No, I knew there was going to be two, and I thought it was going to distract me more than it did, and it did. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I was sitting here all the time like, I wish I could see those two sides of the screen. It was just more, it's different, you know.
Yeah, then they're not. You're not missing anything.
No,
from
you're not.
The
It just
action.
throws the.
But it
picture
does.
off.
But
Yeah,
I'm not surprised
you're
that people
getting
are kind of
everything.
thinking that just off. They're like, wait, are you? Why are you
I-
cutting off the
saw-
two sides?
I saw a tweet that like it's like this is really true, and it's like if you're really like if the 4:3 aspect ratio of this movie is like really defeating it for you, I don't think movies are the medium for you. And I'm like, I couldn't agree more.
No,
most
no.
movies were in 4:3.
No, I don't think anyone's was going like I'm not watching this because they were just more like are they like why are they cutting off some of the movie when they don't realize like obviously you're seeing
Yeah.
more of the movie but it gives you the illusion of you're missing some of it.
So back, I guess we covered the Age of Heroes, right? Or we want to talk about Darkseid.
So, I thought-
you Axis at that point.
yeah, no, I don't know. I didn't think there was a few different things. I mean, it was more gory, obviously. Like I liked seeing. I thought the new god or the old gods were kind of in it a little bit more. I felt like they were doing a little bit more.
Yeah.
I felt like Green Lantern. I would have liked to see a little bit more than just shooting green beams.
Yeah,
Personally,
he goes up and fires.
Yeah.
I mean he does, and then he gets
and then he
gets
killed.
killed.
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
the addition of Darkseid going
Trying
to
to
grab
get-
the ring of will and then it flying away. Like I was like, oh,
He couldn't
I
even
know,
keep it if he
flying
wanted
away,
to.
I thought
he
maybe
wouldn't.
we
He
would've got,
he
like,
wouldn't. Yeah,
a
Darkseid.
modern day. Like,
No,
like
I know.
I had a slight
See,
hopes. Like,
and it-
they might add a Green Lantern because like they add that moment where it flies away. It's like, all right, where
Well,
does it
so
go?
that was actually in Justice League too, when it flies away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and
But
here's
it
the
was,
thing: when
it was Steppenwolf just
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
Steppenwolf, and he doesn't get his hand cut off. He
Yeah.
just gets like stabbed.
and when wait, hand cut off.
Yeah, the Alan Gurry gets his hand. Remember, he like slices off his hand and then flies away, and then he gets stabbed and then flies off his. You didn't see that?
Oh,
Yeah,
the Green
like-
Lantern.
Yeah,
I
the
thought
Green
you were
Lan-
talking about like Darkseid or
Oh
something.
no.
What are you talking about?
Oh, when he
Darkseid
gets that
gets fucked up.
axe
Yeah.
in
Like-
his fucking, like it was good.
Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah.
that's so good.
What was I gonna just talk about? What
Wait,
were you talking about?
so Darkseid he slams on the ground and that's the
that is
equation.
the anti-life. He just the
No,
idea
when
is it
Steppenwolf
existed
has that vision.
No. This happens
in,
during
in,
the
No,
in,
yeah,
in the Age
during
of
the-
Heroes scene. He starts off and I think the idea is the anti-life equation existed there. He
Right,
found
it's on
and
Earth.
when he revealed it there was the thing
Right.
when he did that kind of smash, but now and then that's
And they
Right. He knew the anti-life equation was on Earth.
And then
well,
he
I think
forgot,
he just got.
no?
Well, I
And
think
then he
the idea of his
forgot.
No, I think the idea he was going on a conquest of the universe to take over everything, and he knew the anti-life equation was out there. He found it on Earth,
A primitive planet.
a
at
primitive
the time.
planet that I think the idea is he was just moving through the universe, like not
Yeah.
really, and so
Giving
they,
too much of a shit of
where
where
he's
he
at.
was.
Yeah, just taking down. So
Yeah.
they get fucked up. They go away. I do think it's weird they
They have
wouldn't
to
mark off the planet,
They
but
have
like
to evacuate
that's what I'm
fast.
saying,
yeah,
dude.
like
They
I-
leave
Still,
quickly.
Like that's like the fucking
That's
thing
the
that he's been
planet.
chasing, man.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie,
No, that was a bit of a jump that I
Steppenwolf
was like-
obviously has the vision, and he's like, "Oh, it's here." And then Darkseid's like, "Oh, my
Yeah,
god!"
yeah, it's like
he
new to
he
him.
forgot that he
Yeah.
found like.
No, he knew it.
Well, no, I
like
think
Desaad
he
even
forgot that
says
it was Earth.
everyone
That's the
knows
only-
the legend. Everyone
That's the only
knows.
thing. That is the thing that confuses me on how he lost Earth after that.
It's so important.
like
that
why he
equation's
like
so
how he
important
wouldn't
to
know
him.
where the planet was that defeated him.
Maybe
I
we'll
guess.
find out.
But I
know
guess
we
he
could.
gives Steppenwolf value because
We
it's
won't.
like, oh, now's your chance to redeem
Thanks.
yourself.
No, and it's
you know?
true, and that's the other thing that was confusing. Like Steppenwolf, wouldn't he just by virtue of the mother boxes being there? Wouldn't he know that that's the planet? Because that's the only other. That's the
No.
only planet who would have.
Because he does it. How would he know where the mother boxes are? Like literally.
Well,
yeah,
but
they
no,
were
but
saying-
like,
No,
no,
it's not
no,
like he
but
has
my
like
point
another
is-
mother box to
They're
go
like,
with
hey,
another mother box.
No,
Hey,
but he
Darkseid,
knows the
remember?
legend
Yeah.
that the mother boxes were lost and left on a planet
That had the
Darkseid-
anti-life
lost.
That had the
equation.
anti-life
But I
equation.
guess they don't know it's Earth at that time.
No, that's not
we're
the
not
point.
No,
understanding.
I see what they're saying. Like,
Nah, yeah, I'm kind of lost.
they dropped off the mother box. There is no more mother boxes other than those three, right?
Correct.
So, and he lost them on the planet that had the anti-life equation.
Correct.
So then if all of a sudden he needs to look for the anti-life equation, however many years later, 5,000 years
Yeah.
later, wouldn't it be like, you know what? That's why I left the mother boxes out. We
as
gotta
soon
go.
as
And as
Steppenwolf
soon
got
as like,
there,
oh, we found the mother boxes.
this is the planet
Darkseid
with
would've
the
been like,
anti-life
shit.
equation.
And I know what the fucking anti-life equation is there because that was my last fucking battle.
Because like,
that
does
I
he
lost.
have? That's the other thing I'm
Yeah.
confused. He doesn't have other mother boxes, right? Those are the only.
Maybe,
I think those are the-
maybe he.
Oh, you know what? No, because doesn't he boom into Earth?
No, he does, but
Steppenwolf?
those don't seem to be how they boom. They don't see it like the mother box. They see the
I feel
boom
like the
tube seems to
mother
be their
box is like a
only.
bigger-
It might be,
There
but
could
it
be a
seemed like
father
to me
box.
that.
Which is a thing. I'm not
I
kidding.
know.
Maybe
No,
stepfather box.
I think the boom tube. I think the boom tube
A father
technology
box is
just
also a
exists
thing.
on its own. I think they just know how to boom tube. That they have that technology, and
But that, yeah, the whole, the biggest thing
the
with
thing that's
Darkseid is, like,
confusing is yes, if Steppenwolf felt these mother boxes call out to him, that leads me to believe there are other mother boxes. These aren't the only three that they have
I mean,
that he uses.
I think it's a good assumption.
So, but
Without
like at the
actually
same
knowing.
time,
Like, you know, you
I don't
lost
know.
three
You
at a
know,
planet
you
that
lost
had them.
3 on the planet that have the anti-life
anti-life.
equation. So that is one thing where I'm like, that is a little
oh,
confusing.
And we were battling Atlanteans and Amazonians, and
But again, I don't even
just don't
necessarily
have-
if he'd know who those people are. He's just
I
invading,
mean, I
and
think
he's
it's
like,
a good. I think it's a good plot hole.
no, I
not a
think it
good
is.
one.
No, but it's a fair,
good
plot-
example.
Yeah,
of
it's
a
a
plot
fair
hole.
plot hole. And listen,
But-
I think they kind of take it over by the way he just goes. He's like, oh, this is it. This is the planet, and they kind of go back to it. Fine. It's like, okay,
Plus,
so
there
that's,
might have been a specific 3 mother boxes for the Unity too. That's like the
that's
other
what I mean.
thing.
So I don't know. There's a bit of wiggle
even
room
if he
there.
had
Let's get back to Steppenwolf because I do want to talk about the lieutenants and then we'll talk about Darkseid a little bit more. Then as more than we already have. So yeah, Steppenwolf looks awesome. Like the look is just like it literally went from 0 to 11. Like
no,
he
I do.
looks
I
so
look.
much
I love
better.
how alien he looks.
Yeah,
I really
enjoy his
The
look.
chrome with the like all the tints from the metal,
The
like,
hammer
Like
head.
the purple like tint that it's showing off, and I really love his story that Steppenwolf tried to usurp Darkseid at some point and probably didn't get too far at all. And Darkseid disgraces him and dishonors him, and now Steppenwolf is doing everything he can to get back in the good graces of Darkseid.
Just motivation at all, like where we didn't really have like any of that.
Anything.
And I think you see it, by the way, Desaad, another one of Darkseid's lieutenant, treats Steppenwolf as like this, like the dirt under his
scumbag,
right. Like you can tell, like he's like fucking Steppenwolf. Oh, I gotta deal
look
with
who's
him.
calling me. Let me answer it. Like,
Hey, Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
What's up?
And then like, once he Desaad, and he tells him like the anti-life equation. This is the primitive planet, like, and like he's like, "Are you sure?" And he like says something in Apocalyptic to Darkseid. He fucking comes out. And Darkseid shows up, and that's the only time that Darkseid will even involve himself when the anti-life equation is
present,
right? Or like there's a serious inclination that it's here, and he's like, I have turned 100,000 worlds to dust, like, and he gives his line, and like Steppenwolf is. Like
I do
all
love
the parademons.
Well, I love how they all
and
get down first before like they know he's coming, and then
and Steppenwolf is so taken back by it, and his armor
falls down,
and he like reveals what he actually looks like, and he like the expressions on his face.
No, he looks good. Like he
like
looks as good as Thanos.
Like
looks.
he is shocked, like that he is talking to Darkseid.
Like, oh
right
fuck
now.
yeah, like
and like he
this is
didn't
the man.
expect it. Yeah, and he's like, it's here, and like I'll get the anti-life equation for you, and I'll prep this world for you, and hail Darkseid, and like he's like, this world will be mine.
Yeah,
and it's like,
I do love his voice.
Like, it's so
the guy's playing his voice is Ray Porter. He's awesome.
Yeah,
it's just that
he's actually has a cameo when the men are
forging their mother box container.
He's in the middle of one of the scenes. He's one of the dudes.
You know that part where they're like breaking apart, like it's showing how they're all
they're
putting
putting the mother box in another box.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so he's one
and
of those
Snyder
dudes.
was in. Speaking of cameos,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You pointed it out when we were watching it with the coffee shop. Yeah, and
so
I was
when
like,
Lois Lane walks out of the
no.
coffee shop, there's a window, and Zack Snyder's sitting there having a cup of
cool.
coffee.
That's awesome.
It's very so. I saw it on Twitter before we saw the movie, so I'm actually glad I saw it. But apparently Hitchcock used to do things like that, where like he's in the shot, but the way he's in the shot is kind
It's
of
very tough. Like you'd have to really look for it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like it's not like he's just standing there. He's like mirrored.
One thing I did think of, I thought of I heard you talking while I was using the restroom. We had that question of like, well, why didn't they come before there was lanterns? I think was the thing. I think lanterns were around, like when I think the idea is they were out for some reason. Maybe we don't know. Now there are no lanterns around. Or maybe they died before, or they died while Kal-El was growing up, and like the Superman was there. So I think that's like kind of
going back to you. I wanted to wait to talk about the Green Lanterns when you were here.
Yeah.
I really do think if they're setting up Green Lantern Corps, like Hal Jordan and John Stewart are in the Corps, I just don't think they're on Earth.
No, I think, and honestly,
really
that's
do
the way.
think this sector does have a lantern.
So my dream scenario for that Green Lantern would have been for him to come back and be like he's been at it for 20 years, just like Batman. He's been out in the fucking universe. He comes back, he's like, what happened?
Yeah,
what is going on? Like, what did you guys do? Who's Darkseid? Why is this like?
Yeah, like
he's like, I would like to see him come back as like a gritty, like universe weary Green Lantern, like
John Stewart or Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan. I think you can't do Green Lantern Corps without having Hal Jordan there.
I think
no,
I agree, but like I would love to see there's for those who don't know, like there's a ton of Green Lanterns. It's John Stewart, Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner, Hal Jordan. And that's pretty much it for
Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz.
Yeah.
And those are the newer guys.
Yeah.
And then also, there's another one it's very.
I mean, then we got Kilowog, the duck dude.
Well, no, that's not. That's a fish person.
Whatever. You know what I mean? He's a duck-looking guy.
He's not a duck man.
He's a fish.
You were talking about Yal and Gur, I thought. Because wasn't that who you were asking
Gallagher.
about?
Yeah.
Duh.
Gallagher and Kilowog, like the other Green Lanterns.
Well,
like,
yeah, he's gone now.
they could totally do a movie with all those dudes in them.
Well, no, I think what I would like,
or some of them.
I want to see a Green Lantern Corps show when it's more of like the farther down the lines, your Guy Gardner's, your Jessica Cruz, all those. But then I want a Green Lantern movie where, like, I think they were talking about doing like a buddy cop style movie where it's Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, and I think that would be awesome. And I want it completely in space. I do. I think like that's like something that could be really cool, and they could make something interesting. And you know, it's really disappointing. That Green Lantern movie, I still think the first half of that movie is pretty great. Like after they get off Oa and they get to fight Big Parallax Smoke fuckhead, like it really is a lot. Like I think
Parallax Smoke fuckhead.
Like it's just like, what are you guys doing? Like what is happening? Like you guys had it and then you just fuck it.
Anyway, back to the Snyder Cut. Yeah, so we decide. I don't know how much more you want to say about Desaad, but like I wish Granny Goodness had a line or two.
Well, yeah, you can tell she wasn't cast. You can tell that was just a CGI person. Like
Yeah.
I don't think they had a person like in that role.
Apparently Snyder. So somebody was like, "Dude, imagine Judi Dench as Granny Goodness," and Snyder was like, "I fucking wish."
Yeah, no, that would be amazing.
So, do you guys know who Granny Goodness is?
No.
So Granny Goodness is in some of the Justice League stuff.
Yeah, you see her.
She's the old woman.
You'd probably
on
like know her
Apocalypse.
if you saw her, but you wouldn't like know her by name. I feel like she's one of those characters.
She is like a torturer for Darkseid. I don't know why her name is Granny Goodness. It is kind of weird.
I
but,
think
like,
the
that's her
idea is
fucking name.
it's like when you call a big dude Smalls or something like that. Like it's
Yeah. Granny Goodness is an old woman who tortures people, and she's also in charge of the Furies. Big Barda.
I'm pretty sure I think she just trains the Furies. Like that's
Yeah. So she's a big character on Apocalypse, but I understand, like, you know, not necessarily getting into.
You don't
Granny
need to.
Goodness.
Yeah, we don't really need a line from her or whatever.
And we'll talk about Darkseid a little bit more as we get into other stuff. Where do we want to go next?
Yeah, I don't. I did like the.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead. No, go ahead.
Martian Manhunter.
Oh
Ew.
yeah. What?
No,
I was so disappointed. Like,
Why?
what was that?
I was disappointed for one reason.
I was just like, what's the... Listen, I think he looks all right. I think the CGI wasn't that great. I like his design, though. I think, like, the style is cool. But there is no reason for those scenes to be in there at all, and it very much distracts me. Like, I just was like, especially...
Unite the Seven! Unite the Seven!
Where was he?
Where was he?
Where has he been? Why would... No,
Where was
you
he during
can't
that
say he
battle?
just
But
doesn't
now
care.
he's in the Seven.
Okay, but
he's
you
gonna come back in the next movie.
But he knows what's
What
going
next
on.
movie?
You know he knows what's going on.
I know,
obviously.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
why I'm
Fucking-
sorry.
That's where
It
I was
doesn't-
like.
So,
that's
but
my
like
one
Swanwick
thing
is
for
in it from the beginning. He is there. He is doing. That's just not as
Okay,
Martian
but
Manhunter.
why doesn't he?
But he
fucking
might as well
fight
not
with
be
them?
there.
I
then.
don't know.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's
That's
why it
why I
doesn't
feel
work.
like
Ask fucking the actor.
That's
But
why
so
it doesn't
that's-
work.
What's his
that's
name?
one of my issues
Lennox?
with.
Is his last name?
Listen, I love
Yeah,
Zack
Snyder,
Snyder.
that's
And
your
I
boy.
love his vision, but that's where I think he
Get
falls
ass
down
Snyder.
sometimes in the way of he just wants to do some things to put it on screen, and that's fine. I think it's cool, but I just don't think his introduction was kind of weird, and we knew it was coming because he's shown us everything, and I think it's fine because of, like, years ago we didn't know this was happening. You know, he's putting out stuff about his vision, but like I don't know. It felt very unnecessary, and I was like, and it felt like a very weird thing to end on.
I mean, it would have worked if he fought with them.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
like,
But he
yeah.
didn't, so it doesn't.
Like,
And like,
showed
I'm
up
sorry, it
at-
does. It makes me go like, hey, dickhead. Like, why wasn't Bruce Wayne like, wait, how long?
Where the fuck were you?
No, I would be like, oh, did you just get
But,
here?
like, you
Oh
consider-
no,
you
I've been here
consider
for.
the same thing about the Green Lantern Corps and any other fucking.
Yeah,
super-
but
No,
we
but they
don't
didn't
know
show
where
up at the
they're
end.
dude.
Yeah.
Like they,
Yeah, they
we don't
didn't
know
have,
that
like,
they've
the
been on
They
the
didn't
planet.
show up in the modern like.
True.
We're
Hal Jordan
Yeah, they
had
just have
it
snippets
would
of
like if
present
Hal
time,
Jordan
yeah.
was sitting at a bar and he shows up at the end of the movie. He's like, hey man, I'm gonna start helping. I'd be like, thanks, Hal.
But
Put me in,
I
coach.
will admit, like when Martha Kent is talking to Lois, I'm like, that's Martian Manhunter. One, I knew.
Well,
that.
we knew. Yeah. I mean, I knew.
Yeah. So did you guys know that like there's a scene?
Not
so,
at the time, but like when we watched it, then like you said, I was like, oh, that makes
Yeah, I
sense.
mean, like, right
yeah,
after
like
when
the
he was
but you
accent,
guys didn't
the
know that was
accent is
coming,
all
like, in the
Mr. Perry.
No.
Like you can tell like he's
No, you can tell
flubbing.
she's being a bit more.
Weird.
Not weird, like
Yeah,
she's not
weird.
as personal
The
as
ditto
like
effect, yeah.
yes, as like a mother-in-law.
Yeah, and
Or
then
would-be
he,
mother-in-law would
yeah.
be.
So there was a storyboard that Snyder leaked that like that was Martian
Or,
Manhunter.
yeah, no, I
and
wouldn't
then
even
in
say
the
leaked, he just
trailers,
put out.
there's a Yeah,
Yeah.
true. And then in the trailer, there's a scene where Martha Kent has red
Like you
eyes.
see
I'm
her
like,
eyes
it's
glow.
Martian
Yeah.
Manhunter.
Again, coming to
so
like,
I knew that was coming, and I'm just like, and I detected the tone, the weird accent, and the way she was talking. I was like, this is this is it.
Also, how about Martian Manhunter like put in years, and I guess in the military to work his way all the way up to like.
Or he just took over for Lennox when he. So my made up canon in my head for that is Lennox discovered him, the real Lennox. He died, and he was like,
No,
and he was.
Swanwick.
I'm sorry, who's
Swanwick.
Lennox again?
The actor.
That's
actor,
right,
yeah.
Henry. Yeah. Swanwick died when he discovered him, and he just assumed his life.
So
or something like
that is what they do for Hank Henshaw in
Yeah.
Supergirl.
Yeah.
Hank Henshaw, the real Hank Henshaw, finds him, and he dies, and then Martian Manhunter becomes Hank Henshaw.
Yeah.
That's what they do in
But
Supergirl.
another thing, I was like, say you're John Jones. Say your name. Don't be like, my friends call me the Martian Manhunter. I want them to call you the Martian Manhunter, but use your name first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, that's a
and the
nitpick.
scene at the
That's not a
end,
real
I
nitpick.
kind of like didn't mind it. I just liked it.
I didn't
you know,
hate
as a
it, but
decent-
it
No, I
just
didn't
was
mind. It's
more-
just annoying because like he's
wish
been
he
there
was
the
there.
whole time.
Again,
Where
where were you? Yeah.
Snyder puts up a question where I'm like, why'd you?
he didn't
That's
have
gonna-
to. Yeah, he
yes,
didn't have to
like-
add. Like he didn't have to.
Do
add,
I love to see him?
Yes.
But
So,
like,
That's like a few moments in this movie where like Snyder just like puts up.
I think he undercuts himself where he doesn't have to. I guess.
Yeah,
is
he
the
puts up like
point.
random like plot points that
I know
just
would have
like
helped
raise
that a lot
questions.
because Martian Manhunter's the fucking man.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and it's funny the way
Now you
Lennox
also
was.
have two Supermen. on
Also,
Justice
yeah,
League.
what's the deal? Martian Manhunter's been there for a while. Said like 40 years, something like that. He said that in the movie.
Did he say that? He's
Yeah,
been there for a while.
He's like, I've been here for 40 years, and finally
I
now,
truly, as
now
Bruce Wayne,
feel
I would have
it's
been
time.
like,
Where the fuck have you been?
But
yeah.
also,
it's like-
are the Mother Box not scared of Martian Manhunter?
So that's the other thing.
They don't
Because
know-
he is
they
just
don't
as
know he's
powerful
there.
as Superman.
Right?
Maybe they didn't know he was on Earth. Maybe he
Yeah.
really has
Nah,
been.
they know. They're all knowing.
Yeah, but like,
They're all
are they
knowing.
though? I
The
wouldn't say
second
that.
Superman died, they knew.
Yeah, but the yell is what activated it.
Yeah,
He's
but
been
also,
on Earth
but they
this
knew,
whole
but
time.
they knew, but they sensed a presence that was that
Yeah.
powerful. Was
Like
the thing.
Kryptonian
So
blood.
that's
Right,
why
so
they
maybe
didn't-
Martian Manhunter just hasn't been Martian Manhunter.
Well, he could have been. Well,
Say he's been there for 40 years.
just being.
he could have been
No.
at this.
Well,
like,
maybe
he
And
could
he's
have.
also
they
with
couldn't
Carol
handle
Ferris,
both of
let's-
them,
let's not
maybe.
forget
And
that.
like with Superman down, it's like, yeah, cool. If Martian Manhunter wants to do something, I
Well,
think we
that's
got a chance.
actually. Maybe I think that's actually like they're like, well, we can't do it with the Kryptonian and the Martian on this planet, but we could maybe
Yeah,
take the
it's
one. But
something like
again,
that.
like we're saying, Martian, where you been?
Yeah.
Like that's truly it's a bit of like a. It's maybe one thing if he showed up at the end. He's like, I heard Apocalypse or Steppenwolf tried to take a visit. My world was taken down. I heard you guys need help, or like it seems that you guys could use.
I
Some
mean, I
help.
know why they didn't
wanna-
add him because it would have been who knows how much it would have cost and the time.
No,
to-
absolutely. To
to
actually
all that
put him
stuff
into the
in.
fight and things like that. And also, by the way, if they had Martian Manhunter, you don't need to bring Superman back. You don't. Like you would be like,
Yeah.
we got him.
Yeah,
But
you can do it
they
afterwards.
don't know.
Yeah.
No,
Now
no,
you're-
no.
now
What I'm
you're
saying,
getting
no,
into
but
the
no.
weeds.
No, I'm saying if
I
he
don't
was
like it.
no. What I'm saying is if he
I don't
was
know. They
there
were
with
surrounded
him,
by fire.
if he
so-
was no, it's true too. What I'm saying is if he was part of the team before they got Superman back.
Martian Manhunter
They-
is weak to fire, by the way. For
Yes,
those who
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
understand that comment.
Oh, sorry.
no,
yeah,
no, I'm just
I know.
explaining it.
Yeah.
I knew what you were talking about, but
Geez, there's not fire ever. No, but
Kryptonite.
no, but yeah, no, I don't know. That's the only part of that where I was just like, again, a cool little fan servicey moment that I'd like to see, but it broke
With a dead end.
some logic for me
Yeah.
a little bit. So, and that's the kind of the issue there with that for me.
you mentioned you don't like the way they resurrect Clark.
Oh no, I was saying I like the way that they I actually wrote down like the actual resurrection itself really isn't that much different from
No,
the Joss
it's not.
thing.
As you get
No,
the
I
little
really-
backwards in time moment.
I liked that it wasn't just Batman. Yes, also that
Flash moves
again,
back.
another
It's
thing, a
pretty
good
cool.
thing. He sets up something to pay off later in the movie. No, I liked it actually. I must have misspoke. I liked the
Maybe,
way they.
maybe I heard you.
I
wrong.
like the way that they came to the conclusion much better. Because like in the original one, it's just Batman like I gotta bring him back for him.
with
I
the
gotta
cape,
do.
it's like,
Yeah.
and then Flash
It's
is
like, I like
we're
the
all
way that
thinking the same thing, right?
Flash
The
comes
change
because of
change
course they
machine.
would. Like they'd all be like, why would we not fucking bring him back? And I thought it was it made so much more sense.
They had, like, no choice.
And even
Yeah.
Batman
Unless
with,
Martian
with the
Manhunter showed up.
with the premonition of the nightmare and what he's seen is still like we need to resurrect Clark. But and then also now in perspective thinking about to what Aquaman says, and he's the one kind of being like I don't think we should.
He's
do
more
this.
on the error. Yeah.
And it's like maybe in the grand scheme of things, maybe they shouldn't.
well
Because
well,
like
yeah.
this nightmare,
Again, they
this
wouldn't have had
nightmare-
to.
This nightmare seems inevitable.
Well,
this
now
is
it
gonna
seems-
happen.
Well,
this is what
that seemed to be
Zack
what they were
Snyder-
implying, especially with Cyborg's like pre or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And we
Premonition.
see that's where we see Lois die, right?
Yeah, we see.
I mean,
Fucking,
she's
she's a charred body,
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
and
like
he, and,
skeleton.
yeah.
Yeah, and so
I'm guessing.
my interpretation
Superman
is
clone?
I think it's so we'll get into that actually for his plans a little bit later.
Yeah.
What?
I think it is Darkseid.
I was like, who do you think killed Lois?
Darkseid.
Yeah, I think that's what. It is.
And
I thought maybe because like the way like Superman was holding her, I thought maybe like Superman might have just like
so
freaked
yeah,
out
and
something
I
happened.
kind of never thought that Darkseid would use the anti-life equation to control Superman, which probably makes more sense than him just also going rogue. But like maybe then again,
No,
like
I
the
think-
go the injustice route where he loses Lois and he cracks.
Well, the
but
Injustice route
why?
makes more sense to me in the way of he's like, I'm trying to protect everyone, whereas the Apocalypse one seems like he just goes full like, I don't care about anyone, and I'm just gonna
Yeah,
fucking kill
so the
whoever.
anti-life equation. I did we explain it? Did we-
It's bit like, not
I
really.
mean, I know
it's
it-
kind of
it's a mathematical formula that controls all organic life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
absolutely. And
Is Superman considered organic life?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
he's a-
so I think
yeah.
that's the
He's
idea.
flesh
What he
and
would have
bone.
went into was
Is he made
he
out
would
of-
have been controlled with the anti-life. Yeah.
Was it any organic chemistry? Is anything involving carbon? Right, made out of carbon.
Yeah. Carbon-based life forms.
Does he have carbon? Is he carbon-based
Yeah, he's
life?
carbon.
I'm pretty
Got a
sure.
little bit, yeah.
I'm
I
just
think so.
Their
Let me go on.
physiology is pretty much
I
human.
just have it written down. There's a whole page on Superman's physiology.
95%.
Yeah,
So like it wouldn't make sense. Like in my opinion, it wouldn't make sense for him to
Wonder
crack.
Woman dies.
For him to crack and then like not absolutely snap on Darkseid, right? Like if Darkseid killed Lois, why doesn't he just fucking crack and
Anti-life equation.
and
I think is
Yeah.
the point.
so yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
That's what I think.
So like he has to be being controlled by the anti-life.
I think that's the
I
way
don't think
that
it's
they're
him
going.
just
yeah.
cracking and just like
I think that.
Yeah, because in
I think
Injustice,
that
I'm
kind of
pissed,
helps.
my
That
girl's
pushes
dead.
him more
Right.
easily into.
in
like,
Injustice, Joker destroys Metropolis and in the process kills Lois Lane and Superman's unborn child, and then Superman fucks the Joker up.
yeah.
And that's how Injustice starts.
Yeah,
but yeah,
pushes him right
in
through.
this it wouldn't. Yeah, you're actually.
I think
that's
it
a good
makes more
point.
sense for him to be under the control of something rather than having the. I think the reason that kind of snap works in Injustice is that he is still in his own twisted way trying to protect everyone on Earth. Like he thinks by him being the dictator, he's doing the right thing. Whereas in this, he's just like, fuck everyone. I'm gonna kill you, motherfuckers. With a black suit. Actually, no, I'm gonna wear my nice bright red and blue suit.
Do we want to talk about the rest of the nightmare since we're already on it? And I guess the
like the ending.
Should have had it.
yeah, no. What else? What other? Oh, well. So Wonder Woman dies.
Yeah.
I like the way they explain it though. I'm like, oh shit, because like the nightmare happened so much differently than I anticipated. I really thought like we would go into it, like it would happen.
Oh yeah, no, it did seem like
because
it,
like
was
the
presenting that
world
way,
like
yeah.
explodes, and then it's like, oh shit, it's happening, and then Wonder Woman's dead, and they're like giving her like rights on Themyscira,
Yeah.
and then
Aquaman's
Aquaman apparently dies, or Dark.
Yeah,
Superman,
I think
Darkseid
Darkseid kills him. Yeah.
Darkseid,
And
yeah.
in
he
the Vision, yeah.
impales him, right?
Yeah,
with his
then
own
Mira
trident,
kind of steps into his shoes and she's fighting with him. Deathstroke is here, Joker's there, Flash and Cyborg all looking their their nightmare stuff.
All right. So one question I have. So Flash has a new suit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's the nightmare shoot. Yeah,
Is it? I'm assuming it was made out of like iron. I mean, made out of lead. So that Superman
That would
can't
be
see.
that would be
That's
cool.
a
Yeah,
good
that would be a good
fucking
line.
That's the
point.
first thing I noticed. I was like, it's probably
No,
made
I
out
think
of
that's
lead.
true,
So
and I
maybe
think it
Superman
is.
can
I
see.
think that the implication is so. We can get into more what like where Snyder was planning on going with this, but it seems like that was going to be his time travel suit, and I mean we even see him wear it when he visits Bruce in Batman vs Superman.
right. And I like how he even brings it up. He tells Diana, "Is like I had this
It's
like."
like Barry was
Dream,
standing
more
right
like
here.
a
right
premonition.
here,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was right here, and he told me Lois is the key. And then she said, "Well, she is," because that's after
Yes.
Superman sees Lois and he snaps out of his funk, and they go off to
And then he's
Small.
like,
Not
no, I
tall,
think
but
it's much more
Sinister,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's funny because honestly, in Justice League, that technically does fulfill that plot line. But I love like it seems like to me, and his whole point, he was going to use that kind of like in that scene of like, I mean that makes sense, but like I don't know, it feels worse. Like it feels like there's more to just than just bringing Lois out at the right time. So I thought that was really cool.
Wait, what do you mean it's worse?
Like he's like in the way
He's
like he's
telling
like
Alfred.
like when he's talking to Alfred, he's like and like how she said like Lois was the key, and he's like, well, no, I think like I mean yeah, she was the key there, but like I think
Like
there's
a
more
key
going
something
on.
else, yeah.
But you
No,
know,
yeah,
like,
he's talking about the nightmare when he says she's the kid.
Right.
Yeah, so,
It's just
like,
key
he's
to
like-
him snapping her.
Yeah,
out.
and like
which yes, okay, I understand. All right.
All right, another point of that. So, it's got to be more than Lois now because we find out she's pregnant at the end of the movie. So they're talking about nightmare.
Yeah,
scene.
it
What,
is
yeah.
what
it is
happens?
very
with that baby?
subtle.
They open the drawer and
There's a
But
pregnancy.
also
Yeah,
at
pregnancy,
at the very end when they're moving back at the
Oh,
house, I
Bruce
Oh,
goes,
congratulations.
congratulations. It's funny. I noticed that today when I
and
was
she's
watching.
carrying a baby carriage. In the
that went
theatrical
right by me.
release,
I
didn't see
didn't.
it.
I thought about it. I'm
didn't
like,
see
oh
it.
yeah, because he's engaged. That's what he's congratulating.
That's what
for.
I thought it was too the
Yeah.
first time, but then the second time around, I was like, oh.
I gotta go
Yeah.
back and like look at that scene.
Yeah, because in the theatrical, she's just carrying like.
So
regular
what'd
boxes.
you guys think of the
Yeah.
Joker stuff?
It was fine. Again, like that
Weird, kind of like I enjoyed it, but like
It
But
works.
like
in
you
that
don't
universe.
enjoy what's his name doing. Right?
I don't mind.
And again, it kind of
Really?
sucks. He's
I don't
another.
mind this one. It's a little toned down,
I'll-
and
I'm-
it's.
He's
I
a
don't
little
think
more.
he's great, but I think it's okay.
He
I
kept
think
he kept
does.
dragging out the laugh. Like I appreciate a
No,
good Joker
I
laugh.
guess like that's
Yeah,
that's
but
he's
I don't
he's
like
trying
it.
to.
I
don't like that.
don't
Yeah, I
like
don't
it.
like that as much either. But I do like his like weirdness and like just his overall just like when he's talking to him, he's like, "You
Flavor,
sent a
man.
boy
I like
wonder
their
to do a
dynamic,
man's
too.
job."
I like fucking Batman saying, "I'm gonna fucking kill you."
Oh no, that see that was
When-
the only f bomb I
when this is
noticed, but it was
over, yeah.
Dude, I love like the. But again, it's like the way Batman's thinking at this point. Yeah, I think he would be like that, and the fact that like, do you think it? Okay, we were having this conversation. Dick Grayson is the Batman or the Robin who dies.
Well, I mean, Zack Snyder
That's the
said
only
it is
one
him.
that's yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that's,
It
and it
is-
seems
yeah,
like he's
it's
only
not
had
Jason
one
Todd.
one Robin throughout his career.
and I think that is what also reflects him being the way he is. He didn't lose Dick. He lost Jason, but like he lost his first sidekick. Jason or Dick Grayson is dead.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that would change his mentality. He would never have another Robin again.
Absolutely,
after
especially
that.
if he
And
died like
doesn't.
that. Like, yeah,
Right.
he
And
basically feels like
so
he's sent him to his death.
Joker and Harley kill him, and then he talks about how Harley Quinn is bleeding out in his arms, and and like Harley Quinn is telling Batman to
He's like,
kill
him
the
slowly. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, I
I'm
promise I'd
like-
kill you slowly, and he's like, I swear to fucking, or like,
he's like, and I will fucking kill you.
and
like,
and I will give it to Snyder. He let it sit for the exact right amount of time with, and he's like,
and Joker like,
yeah, no, he's like,
he hears him.
you got me there. That was you almost had me there.
Yeah.
Like, no, I thought again. I think that could have been a really cool movie. And he's talked about how he wanted to get into that death of like the death of Robin in like a Batman solo movie. Even like with, I mean, we see how it gets set up. How our Batman movie, what could have been, gets set up at the end of this movie with
Right,
Deathstroke and all that stuff.
Yeah.
and
And I think that could still happen. Like
I
really-
absolutely do too.
I really do.
I don't think you're gonna get Batfleck though. Like,
No, I think we will get Batfleck. If
You
it
think
Yeah,
happens.
I would have, guys. I would have said the same thing as you a year ago. But
this
the
is a
fact that
different
he's
space.
coming back with Flash and that he's coming back
Yeah.
for, I don't think it's a definite by any means. I don't think he's a
well,
sure
it's gonna
thing.
be tough in a sense of like, I'm assuming that happened. How many years ago do you think?
What?
Like the Dick Grayson dying.
I would
20.
say no.
He's
I
been
would
Bat-
say
doing
he's
it
been
for-
I would
Batman
say
for
I would
20.
say if he's
Oh,
been
he's
He's been
Batman,
doing it for
20.
20. Yeah, he's been Batman for 20
so
years.
Dick
Okay.
Grayson is Robin for about like 10 years. I would say
And I don't even think we necessarily even have to keep like comic book logic in that.
I
in
would
this one,
say
'cause this
it would,
seems like
it's
very
probably
different.
between his 10 and like 17 year as Batman.
That's what I'd
Like,
say
it's
too.
probably in that.
I'd
gap.
actually probably say like in like 7 to 14 like
Okay,
years in.
that's
like,
fair.
Like in
Yeah,
his,
it's
in his
somewhere
mid-
in the
yeah.
middle. Somewhere in the middle.
Or it could have been even like he could have been Robin for a while, and then that like Batman we see in BVS is maybe even a year out from losing Dick or something like that. So you don't know. Like
Yeah, that's a
it
good
could, yeah. There's a
possibility.
few different like that could be what set him down the path of like he's killing. He doesn't give a shit. He's really kind of lost it. But no, I thought that scene was interesting. Again, I appreciate. I was kind of annoyed when I heard he was going to end it on a cliffhanger at first, but then the way he explained, he's like, "Listen, this is how I
makes sense.
intended it to do. I just want to put this out as I intended it." And I was like,
Right.
you know what? That's completely
And
fair.
you know what?
Anyway, so-
I really didn't think about the fact that like I know he was planning to do some more Justice League movies after this, and then the ending of this made me realize, and it's like it's not about Darkseid, it's about Superman.
oh, it's a bit. Well, yeah,
It's
but I mean,
really
yeah,
about
absolutely.
Superman cracking. Like it's not about Darkseid being the big threat. The big threat is Superman. He is still like this nightmare could totally still happen, and
Well,
that's
yeah,
why the
it's-
premonition happens.
It's
at the end.
Darkseid and by proxy Superman at the same time. Of like, yeah, like, and no,
Right.
but you're right.
Like
I think it's-
Superman is still
you
a
have a
threat.
bit more of a stake in that because it is Superman. And somebody know he could be the bad guy if it goes this way, and they know that. And Yeah, no, I think that's very true. I think it's a very interesting
it's
concept.
interesting. It's so interesting that Snyder decided
Do we
to
want to get into where this was going to go?
Yeah,
I mean, I could give it...
real quick. It's so interesting that Snyder decided that Gino's licking the trash can over there and totally distracted me. It's crazy that that's where he's gonna go. It's not like Avengers building up to the big bad of Thanos. It's Justice League building up to the big bad of Superman. It's
yeah, to a degree.
Really,
I do think the big bad is also there in Dark Side and that. But no, I do hear what you're saying. I think that makes complete sense. I think that is.
I mean, without Dark Side, you don't get that. You don't get Superman to that moment.
But I do think you have a little bit more levity behind Superman.
I mean, you don't technically know that.
Well, no, I mean, it seems like that seems to be the way.
Right. But Lois Lane dying is the catalyst to set Superman off. Maybe Superman would go down.
From what
pretend it's not Darkseid
if she
killing Lois.
If she died in a car accident, I don't think Superman would. And the anti-life equation, he's controlling.
Right. But I'm saying, take yourself out of the plot for a sec. Pretend Darkseid doesn't kill Lois.
How does she die?
It doesn't matter. Pretend another villain. Stop. Pretend another villain kills Lois Lane.
Okay.
We go Injustice, and he cracks.
Well, possible, but I don't think that's necessarily true from this one. I think the reason he cracks in this one is it seems like it's because of the anti-life equation.
Yeah.
It's not because Lois, it makes him very sad, and maybe it would make him lose the will to do anything, maybe. But it didn't seem like this would have been a Superman that would then, in turn, because of that, rule the entire world. It doesn't seem like he has that much of a stake. I mean,
based off BVS, I would counter that.
But
no, you literally just agree
because
with me
he's conflicted with himself.
Yeah, but you just agree with me when I said
he was controlled.
Why would he snap and not freak out on Darkseid?
Right, no, but that's what I'm saying. Darkseid has the ability to control him. Other villains do not.
Yeah, with the anti-life equation. So without the anti-life equation, Lois Lane dies. Superman doesn't fucking snap and go.
As far as this universe has presented him to me, I would not believe that without the anti-life. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
he could snap on whoever did it, but he wouldn't go full Injustice.
I don't think so.
Not
just in the way. Yeah, I agree. I'm in total agreement. Do we want to talk about where these would have went?
Yeah.
So
go for it.
A very light outline. So again, I'm cool. I'm excited that we know these plot details, but it also kind of makes me less excited that if we did get these, because all right, well, we kind of know where they're going. But okay, so the second film would have been Invasion of Earth from Apocalypse by Darkseid. It would have ended with Darkseid killing Lois after Batman was tasked to guard her and to stop that from happening, or to keep her safe while they were attacking. I think they were actually going to go to Apocalypse because Batman was convinced. He's like, listen, we got to strike at their heart. We got to take them out. Let's fucking go. They go there. Superman gets caught by Apocalypse and he gets tortured and basically gets preyed upon with the anti-life equation or something. Then he comes back. Lois dies. That's the final snap off. Or no, yeah, he gets away. He comes back. Batman's protecting Lois during the Darkseid invasion. She ends up dying. He kind of snaps, and then that's how he succumbs to the anti-life equation. And yeah, then the third movie would have taken place in the Nightmare timeline, where it would have been basically following Batman and gang that we saw trying to get back into, trying to figure out a way to get Barry back in time to basically get Batman to sacrifice himself in Lois's place. And it's funny because that's where kind of that scene with Lois Wonder Woman and Aquaman come in, where they're where there's death, there's always death, or whatever it is, where they're to take one, we have to give another, or something like that. I thought it was a pretty interesting thing. But
and then
Joker,
those are the two who die in the nightmare.
I mean, Joker even has a moment. He's I wonder how many timelines
you destroy the world
because you don't want to die. You don't want the
the cojones to die.
Cojones to die.
Yeah. No, it's
interesting.
No, it does. You see how he was setting it up, and then so. Yeah, they would have gone through that, and then basically at the end, I guess this is actually more interesting. Was actually kind of an interesting point to me. Lois and Superman's son would end up being powerless and grow up to be the next Batman.
Wow,
very interesting.
Which I think that's not there was the one thing where I heard where he was thinking about doing a Lois and Batman, and I was that's weird. But I think in its own separate universe where it's this is its own thing. I think that works for me.
It's interesting. I find it hard to believe that his kid wouldn't have any powers.
No, I know that too, but I think it's cool.
I think it's cool.
Because you definitely don't see. I feel like it is always usually they have some type of powers. Yeah. I think it's an interesting idea that he just goes powerless, but he still becomes a defender of Earth,
or
a defender of the Earth.
Radioactive Sperm like Spider-Man.
Oh, so there's a. Actually, I listened to this whole thing on the Hulk the other day about there's some weird storylines with the Hulk and his sperm. Just saying, look him up.
A sperm.
And his sperm.
Okay.
But
Spidey in it.
Is this like old man Logan?
no, that's really weird stuff. But there's just one.
Yeah.
There's like a storyline where he kills Bonnie with his sperm because it's radioactive.
This is Spider-Man.
Jesus.
Does he? Is there another one? I didn't know.
Spider-Man kills I think Mary Jane in one of them.
Got it.
Really?
Yeah.
There's some weird comic book storylines back in the
Because
day.
it's
my friend.
radioactive.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
So I'm trying to think like what else didn't we
That
hit?
hold on.
So
One
he's
more
got a
thing.
plow puss and he can just kill a broad.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What?
What about that Speed Force scene?
Oh yeah.
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 The
That-
monologue and what was what Henry Allen said to him.
Yeah,
What
I
is it,
thought
the
that was
past-
really good, but like
the future is like whatever it is. Yeah. That.
I can't believe he
To
got.
close
I
it
can't
out.
believe he fucking got shot though. I was like, come on.
what that he got shot. I guess like, but I think the only yeah, you're right. He should. That's
Oh.
fair. I don't really know what to tell you there. I guess the moment it didn't
I
really
get
bug me that
I
much.
get it. Like it's a cool moment and like he has to heal. He has to do
And
all
I mean,
this
I do
stuff.
think like he's coming around the circle. I think it's fair. Like honestly, if I was that guy, I'd be just shooting at the circle every time. Like so, I think there's maybe a chance you hit him. But no, I thought like when the bomb goes off and
I was like, is this
when
nightmare?
he
I was
goes,
just waiting for
yeah,
it.
when then
And he,
he
like,
goes into the speed and you
phases
just see it,
through.
yeah, and
And fucking everyone like their bodies come back together. Cyborg's
it's
face,
really cool. Just the
Superman.
The blood
all the
coming back to
visuals of
ground.
him running back and like the ground coming back underneath him as it's all coming. It was really dope. It was awesome.
And they
really
set
cool.
that up earlier, and when they were in the Genesis chamber.
Yeah, when he's doing
Yes,
thing, he's like when I approach the speed of light,
He's like,
weird
he's like-
stuff happens with time.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like to do it.
Yeah.
because weird stuff happens with time, which wasn't in the theatrical cut.
No,
No.
nothing, none of that was.
And
And
then
it
you
kept-
get that little rewind moment.
Yeah,
it's like
When
a
they're
2
a
second
very
rewind.
slight. Yeah,
Yeah, and you push
dude,
it.
and just like again, everyone had
And that-
something to do at the end.
And
of the movie.
that fight with
Yeah.
Superman is pretty identical. There are some
It's a little
additions.
toned down. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
Like, in a
Oh,
way, like I
in
don't think he does
Joss's
as
cut.
much. No, actually, I think he does a little bit more in Joss's cut. But I like that the whole team does more in this cut.
Dude,
I feel
I was meant to bring it up earlier. Batman's gauntlets.
Oh
and then
yeah,
the
those-
sword
Again,
Yeah, it's cool.
Plutonian laser beams.
But
Great
they built up
explanation.
for the
No, yeah,
I'm
like
that
they-
is so cool because that is something Batman would have.
Well,
and
no,
he
and
gets two, and then he's like, oh,
And it's
shit.
funny. I don't even
Like,
necessarily. It's not like
Lois?
I'm sitting here. Yeah, like come on.
Hurry
But
up.
no, again, like something that's like you see in the movie. You're like, I guess he can
And
block
mind
energy
you-
with his fucking gauntlets. but
Parallel
now, like,
of BVS.
where-
Yeah.
Lois comes in to save
Oh,
Batman
yeah.
instead of Superman.
Man, yeah.
Very cool moment. I was like,
And
yeah, it's a
Tzortatos
Snyder
thing.
thing.
I love it. Yeah, that's great.
So what about
Did we talk about the whole league? I'm trying to think. We got Flash. We got
Also,
Cyborg.
we didn't
we
really
got-
talk. We didn't hit on Wonder Woman. Oh
No, we
the-
did. I feel like we talked a good
The
amount. on it.
fucking
Yeah,
music.
I think we opened
I
with
almost
one.
forgot.
Oh.
All the music is fantastic, but like the Amazonian chant
They
for
play
the
it way
Amazonian,
too much.
I love it. I love it. I fucking
Every
love
time they
it. I was
show
like,
her.
Oh yeah, here we go.
No, I agree. It was like like coming in every
Dude,
time.
no,
I thought it was.
I really liked
I
it.
liked it at certain points, but there were sometimes like we don't need it
Kept
here
hitting
again.
you over the head with it.
Fla- I don't know if
Did
it's
you like
Flash's.
it, Aris?
Yeah, I mean, like,
Like it didn't take you out of it.
this is gonna sound pretty crappy of me, but like, I didn't really lock in on the music, but it was great.
No, that's
you know what I mean?
truthfully,
It was
that doesn't.
kinda-
That's not.
It's
I
not gonna
totally
kill
get
it
that.
for you.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
that is something I do, especially with like superhero films. I'm like, is the music good? Most Marvel movies have shitty scores.
No, I feel
But,
like I've definitely the
Junkie
scores have-
XL and Hans Zimmer with Man of Steel. I mean, of course, that theme comes
Yeah.
back, but like Junkie XL and Hans Zimmer and BVS is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, but
You know
and in
who was
this,
probably
it's just
my-
Junkie
I,
XL.
I thought the score was solid. They played Aquaman. I mean, they played Wonder Woman's thing like,
Too
way
much. Yeah, I agree. But
I think
But
it's just
also,
so
some of like
iconic.
the
it's
music
kinda-
decisions were fucking
there
weird.
was
they're interesting.
Yeah,
To
no,
me.
but like they're interesting.
bad.
Yeah, that's fair. They're interesting to him. No, that's they didn't really work for me
The
as
Flash
much as certain-
moment. I was like, why are
That
you
one was
playing
weird, and I
this,
thought
dude?
I liked the song choice for when Momoa got his hero shot on the King one or whatever when he's walking out into the ocean. I thought that one was good. Yeah, no, I thought there was some actual like literal like choices of songs.
Yeah,
that I
like
thought were
actual
weird,
songs.
But the
Yeah.
scores, I don't know what it was. I guess it is his score, but that score that plays while the Flash is doing
It's
the Speed Force
it's
thing.
called the Force of Speed, by the way.
That should be his
Yeah.
theme. Like that
Yeah.
theme was
was
so
good.
good. Like it matched.
And it
like,
probably is.
It should
Dramatic.
be.
Remember
yeah.
Wonder Woman and BVS? The one time it
Yeah.
plays, it's her theme.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like all their themes. I think they have all really good themes. I even like. I think Wonder Woman might be maybe my favorite theme of them all. I think is because it's so unique. But
But it just hits you over the head too many times.
No, again, I just think they used it in weird spots where it kind of just tripped me up for a sec. Like I was like, you didn't need. Like I wish it felt like it broke the good score that was there for just to kind of throw the. But it's fine. That really didn't bug me that much.
And then we almost forgot to talk about like Star Labs, Silas Stone, Ryan Choi.
Yeah,
Ryan
I thought they were interesting.
Ryan Choi being the second Adam. Yeah, which is interesting. And then he gets. What does the guy say to him at the end with
they
the
give you a little
nanotechnology?
Yeah, he's like, oh, what? You're the head of nanotechnology. So he's like, oh, so that's your thing. He's like, that's my thing. Yeah, it's a good little thing.
Plus, I got that from Tony.
I really like
nanotech.
Like Silas in the original cut survives. I like the way how like. And at first, it's like Silas Stone just sacrificed himself for no reason. It's like, no he superheated the mother box so we could find it. And it's like, so cool. Yeah,
they set up at the beginning.
Yeah, like superheat it, and then it's like, this is the hottest thing on the planet. It's like 1,000 Kelvin. And
it might seem weird that I keep getting hung up on all these like things are actually logical, but it's so nice. Like it feels like gratifying.
Because you're not cutting the corners that are unnecessary to cut in the beginning.
You're not making me sit there and be like, why does that work? Like Batman's gauntlets, for instance. Like you're saying, like why can he block alien technology with his gauntlets? Oh, because he used alien technology to develop these because he felt like it would be a good idea. Makes sense. So good. It's really
anything
Bravo.
else.
I'm gonna go through my notes.
There's got to be something we missed.
I mean, there's probably is, but
Martian Manhunter. We talked about the Nightmare. I'm trying to think of like the back
by the
half
way,
of the film.
Those cops know Clark Kent is Superman. I'm just saying.
Hold on. What are you talking about, dude?
Whoa, who are you? Get the fuck out of here,
dude. How about when he's fucking moving into his?
Yeah, and he doesn't.
He's moving into his house in Kansas, and the movers
glasses.
are walking by
and that's where I feel like
Snyder
required you to just suspend.
No, I know.
Yeah,
just like,
it's
true.
Like,
but like the one thing I'm just like, don't have a funeral for him. Like, don't show his body. Like, say he got lost in the rubble. Like, then that's it. Like, then he comes. But again. That's not something that's really. You're right. I just got to sit here and be like, no one knows. I guess that's fine.
Didn't wear his glasses when he was like. Back
so that cop that Lois brings coffee to, he is named Jerry after Jerry
Schuster.
Sandusky.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Whoa. Yeah.
Don't cancel.
And
don't cancel.
So is it Jerry Schuster?
Yeah.
So
Joel and Jerry Schuster, I believe, those were the creators of Superman.
No, isn't it the other? There's another S. His
no,
name
they're both brothers.
The brothers, yeah.
Yeah,
Canadian
really?
brothers.
Hold on one second.
His last name is like Spiegel or something.
No, it's Schuster.
It's Schuster.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Because the cop is named.
In the theatrical.
Oh no, okay, no, Gooch is right. The character was created by writer Jerry Siegel and artist Joe Schuster.
Siegel. It's Jerry Siegel.
Yeah, that's Jerry Siegel.
Yeah,
no,
that's
but
the
the
cop's
officer's name. I think it's Schuster. The officer.
No, it's Siegel. It's Siegel.
I thought
What if
I didn't even notice her
mixed
saying it.
That's why
to be honest.
Jerry.
It could have been Jerry Schuster.
It's Jerry Siegel. I'm telling you. I know for 100%.
That makes that's cool.
Yeah.
Again, guys who had to fight to get their fucking names put on that. Like they lost a lot. You guys, if you're ever bored, look up stuff on the guys who created Superman and also Bill Finger with Batman. There's a really good documentary on Bill Finger, like how basically Bob Kane's a piece
stole
of shit.
Everything. Yeah.
Well, not even like he stole thing. Yeah, look it up.
It was like
interesting.
this transition from action comics and stuff, right? Yeah, it was like crazy.
Did you know that Jack Kirby's like great grandson tweeted at Snyder thanking him for Darkseid?
Oh, that's awesome.
Because
that's cool, he was a creator, right?
Person who's been shit on still. I mean, not shit on, but like totally.
No, he just cut
Jack
like
Kirby's designs are like everything.
They're iconic.
Yeah,
they are.
He
they
designed
really are.
Darkseid and
Thanos
too.
Yes, he has his hands
Spider-Man.
all over both Marvel and DC.
But he never gets the recognition. And
well, he's just not as like. So, yeah, you're right. I think his name is on everything, but like it's unfortunate that he doesn't have the same recognition. Like, you see Stan Lee and you know who that is.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that his grandson like decided to like tweet at him and thank him for doing.
I said sorry to the dog.
Stanley didn't get Marvel back until like early 2000s or something.
Yeah, no, I mean they were gonna go bankrupt in the 90s and stuff.
Stanley was Jack Kirby, and even
he was again like Bill Finger.
I think one of the last
hero,
interviews he did.
Mm-hmm.
Stan Lee was like me and Jack, like him and Jack Kirby left on a very bad note, and they never patched.
No, I thought they did end up. I thought they left in person on a bad note, but they ended up patching it up by the end of their life or something. I could be wrong.
Like that,
no,
I could be wrong
because I think Jack Kirby died. Well. You know Dan Turpin in Justice League, or sorry, the Superman animated series?
Yeah, he's based off
That's
of
Jack Kirby.
Yeah,
and he dies in the show, and they send him off, like, because Jack Kirby I think died
in real life. Yeah.
yeah at that point. So
Yeah, no, that's another thing. Like, he's lucky he did at least get some. Like, that Bill Finger story is really, truly one of the saddest.
and
things.
I
Like,
guess
he really got
going
fucked.
into more sad things, I like how it ends with For Autumn and
Yeah, that
Zack
was very
Snyder's
nice.
daughter.
Yeah, that's
Apparently Hallelujah was her favorite
was
song,
her favorite song, yeah.
and that's why they used it in the trailer. And then they did
that
a
trailer
cover
was
of it.
so like, God,
Makes
It was in the
more
credits
sense
too. I don't know
than
if you
having,
heard it.
Yeah, we were kind of talking over, but yeah, there's a cover of that Hallelujah from
at the end. Yeah,
Leonard something.
Leonard
Cohen.
You're right.
Yeah,
Boom.
his cover. Yeah, his version of Hallelujah is covered in the credits. And yeah, I'm really trying to grasp because we're at the end here. I'm just trying to think what if we missed.
I really
anything.
think we got most of it. Again, I think there was some scene. I think Lois was a little underserved in this movie. I feel like she was just kind of just shown to remind you that she's there sometimes. But overall, I thought that whole scene on the farm with Clark and her and Martha was really good, and like it was very poignant.
Oh,
and,
the actor who played Jerry is Jimmy Olsen in 63 Superman.
oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I am trying to think. I don't.
Yeah, what's the one where
I don't think we
Ben
missed
Affleck comes out looking skinny because they reshot it?
yeah, that's the very one.
That was the reshoot scene, and I mean the
Yeah,
nightmare
like,
you couldn't tell because he had
No,
the,
you
he
could
had
tell
the,
he was
he had the
dead.
bat
Yeah,
suit
no.
on, but yeah, that was a reshoot scene.
Well, they should have just like.
Effie,
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know why.
I don't know. I think it worked fine because he wasn't. I think it didn't like.
It
I didn't really
strike
care
me
for
that
it,
much.
but like,
It's
yeah,
fine.
But yeah,
you
you could notice
it,
that he
yeah.
was thinner. Like
Yeah.
But
I mean, he looked pretty good.
oh, I thought he looked fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I just had.
Well, he's
some,
like
I
40
just thought of
pounds
something else. I'm
less
trying
than
to
he
think.
was earlier.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, we
yeah.
didn't really talk about Batman a whole bunch.
Yeah,
I don't think
guess
we
did.
needed
Batman-
to
Batman's,
though. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
'Cause
right.
it's
I
like-
guess is what is there to say. Batman kind of is the one who gets the team together and gets it rolling, and then he's there in the fights as Batman can be,
just surviving.
fighting aliens and superpowered beings. Like
he is just.
I kind of
surviving.
like how but he's I think I mentioned it when we were watching. He's the first one to enter the dome.
Yeah, no, I mean, I
Like,
think he does it
even
not.
though we got all the superpowered people, he's the one who leads
No,
the
I think
assault.
he.
And he's taking like all these parademons out.
Absolutely.
And fucking
I don't feel
killing
like
them
he's
all.
just there doing nothing.
and he's telling
which I
the
appreciate.
Flash
Yeah.
But-
and Cyborg to like take care of
I
the
wish,
people
I
going
wish
out.
he was a little more. This is just like not even a critique on Snyder Cut or like Batman vs Superman. I kind of wish he was a little more than like, because sometimes he can get put to the side almost.
Batman?
Not put to the side, but it's almost like
It's not
Where
like,
is he in the fight?
Yeah.
almost accidentally because everything else is so much
Yeah.
more power than him.
But
I
even
mean,
but in the comics, like he's fucking powerful, man.
No,
and in the
yeah.
cartoon, like he's fucking powerful.
And it's,
He's
well,
not
it's more
just,
about
like,
him.
to the
It's
side.
more
It's his
using his
intellect.
intelligence. Yeah, in the
Yeah,
way
Yeah,
of
so I
like
wish
he's
there-
not.
I wish
he knows
showed
how to
a little
include
more.
himself.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right? You know, he
Yeah,
knows-
he knows
he
to
knows
make
how to
himself
be
as useful
effective.
as he can. Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying, and I do. I kind of like this idea that he did kind of have. It felt more legitimate in this time, where he kind of had this more like how that line he gives to Alfred, faith. Like it's good. Like you can tell he's a bit more. He's like I'm not
Wiser.
thinking with my head right now. I can't do that. It's not working.
it's really interesting.
I'm working from my heart. Like, and we need to get it figured out. And, like,
I mean, I know everyone had the critique of like Batman being too dark, but in this movie, he is a lot like right, the faith thing. Like he's not. Thinking
you see
with
a more
his head.
optimistic Bruce Wayne.
Right,
Absolutely.
and he is. I think it reflects in the fact that he like just the way he talks. I think you can tell that the Superman's death does something to him.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's optimistic. I would almost say it's like
He's
not
got
that
no
he's-
choice.
Not that,
That's
he's
true, yeah.
not that he's carefree, but he's like, I'm, like you said, like
Yeah.
he's thinking
He
less.
has his mission. He doesn't necessarily know how he's going to complete it,
But he's like,
but
hey,
he has faith that he's going
yeah.
to.
I think it's pretty interesting that Lex Luthor tells Deathstroke his name.
which I mean, it makes complete sense.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
why-
and
what-
Lex
yeah, like-
knew who they were from the beginning. in
Absolutely.
BVS.
So like that's the thing.
Wait,
Like
but
I was
how,
like,
how does Lex find out?
he's just smart.
I think he just kind of deduced it. Like,
Well, he
yeah,
panned
yeah.
it out from
Like
Batman
in
v
Batman vs
Superman.
Superman, we don't know. Like he doesn't.
Well,
You just kind of, I think it just implied that he
assume,
just
yeah.
through
Yeah.
things figured it out,
Yeah.
like through his
You know,
intellect or whatever.
you will go across the bay. 2 years growing his hate, ripe fruit, and send little red notes. You Big Bang, your family's dead. You let your
He's crazy
family
funny.
die. Yeah.
And then he
Like that
turns
whole
into the Lex Luthor from the 80s at the end in the suit.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was kind of listen. I don't hate
It's an interesting
Jesse
transition, but
Eisenberg's
also his
Lex.
character transitioned a lot at the end of that movie.
It very much did, and I think they kind of give somewhat enough of a line where he's like, "Well, the doctors at Arkham kind of helped me figure some stuff out."
I
to a
like how
degree.
the asylum is very like old Arkham Asylum, like it's not like a
Oh,
new,
it looked great. Yeah.
right, and
But so
it's like it's Arkham Asylum for the emotionally like like
troubled or something.
Troubled, like it's a little like fucked up. The wording, it's funny.
Now let me.
Gino, come on.
Is it so when he gets
admitted to the asylum?
No, bailed out of jail or whatever when he like
When he gets
escapes?
escaped, yeah.
That guy who's sitting there for him does kind of like a Joker laugh.
Yeah, because Joker probably helps him
Right,
out.
so we're assuming that Joker probably.
So I
helped him
kind of
get
just
out of
assumed that was
jail.
just another insane
Nah,
asylum
I
mate
could
that
buy
just was
that
like
Joker
nutty.
helps Lex Luthor out.
No, I could, but I didn't really make that connection. I just assumed that was just another psychopath he put
I thought maybe we were gonna see the Joker right there. I thought maybe
yeah.
he was gonna get him
Would
out.
have been cool. But...
Oh no. Does that cover it?
I still think
I like want to end it, but I don't.
I know. I really got to pee,
like-
so we either got to keep going or I got to.
It's been a good conversation.
I think so, too.
Yeah, I like this movie's awesome.
It is, and
It's
I
really
think
it's a new pinnacle for me. Instead of BVS and Winter Soldier.
yeah, I don't know if it's my favorite superhero movie, but like I don't know, it's my like. Again, it's tough to even call it a movie. To it, it's like a series. It's like it's this.
You
It's
know
this.
what you could compare it to though? Logan. Logan is a very interesting movie because it is another art piece that couldn't have been made with any other character, right?
Yeah, to a degree.
And-
I don't know, but I don't think this
and-
movie could not be made with any other character. You know what I mean?
It's right, but it's in the same like tier of like Zack Snyder's Justice League.
It's
Given all these events that happened, like is this?
It's a
thing.
lot more. There is those action beats. Like that's the thing. It's like you get these character moments and these slow moments of dialogue and just having characters interact with each other like a Logan. But you still do get those big action set pieces from that you should get from a Justice League movie, and you should get like. So I think it's unto itself. I can't compare it to Marvel and other superhero movies. I can't because I feel like it's just so much of its own thing.
yeah.
Like,
Right.
and I
think it's a good thing.
And they're
Yeah.
both trying to achieve different things.
exactly. So I think Zack Snyder, hats off to you, my friend.
Bravo.
Two things we didn't talk about. J.K. Simmons as Gordon.
He was
even
fine. I
though
don't
it's
think
funny
it-
how
Good
like
Gordon.
none of those scenes were cut. Looks like
No, that seems like that was the whole thing. Yeah.
right. And
I
then
thought he was going to
and
ask
then-
for pictures of Spider-Man.
And then after that, with the whole tunnel scene and how the Flash and Cyborg rescue the people and yeah, like that whole scene.
No, there's a
It,
ton of-
change, but like not a lot.
The
but
skeleton
enough
of this movie is here.
Yeah.
This the very bare bones, but everything meat in between. There's so much different stuff.
right.
Truly. But was there anything else you two gentlemen would like to add?
No, I won't.
No.
I won't
Think we're
drag
good?
it on. It's been a good talk.
It has been.
Vast
Matt,
improvement.
Guys,
Matt
if you've been
Aris, thanks
hanging
for
out
coming on.
this whole time with us, we appreciate it. You've been here the whole time. That's amazing. Good job.
Proud of you.
We are the Delco Network. You really appreciate you watching along live with us. You can find this podcast everywhere podcasts are found. Just search Delco Nerd Network. We are on all the social medias at Delco Nerds. Facebook, we got a nice Facebook page. Just search our name on there as well. We have a really fun Discord channel. We talk about all things from BVS to Justice League to everything in between. It's a really fun time. Good people. You can find all this information on our website, DelcoNerdNetwork.com. For Gooch, for Matt, for Aris, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy, and we will see you next time.